Things to be aware of organizing eRacing championship without race room. First, no automated leaderboard would always be labor intensive. Elimination round would be the only way to filter the winners. Having the participants adhering to the schedule would be a huge test. We need to know the task will get bigger when participants increases. Time consuming. Organizing eRacing championship without race room, it's all need run manually to take down the participants and eliminate them from first round group to final round group. Because it is manual human labor, there bound to be human error. Manual human labor would have a price tag for the man-hours involved. New participants would never have chance. The eRacing clubs in the world will send their best racers to participate the race. But that means your championship exposure is just limited to the eRacing clubs. Why choose race room? R3E official championship have fully automated leaderboard. Participants can log in anytime to leave the fastest lap time within the qualifying period. Each of the racers already have their ranks with race room. Next, save time. You can have unlimited amounts of participants in a super short time to qualifying them to final race. Race room can cover unlimited amount of participants. We have a full automated esports ecosystem from qualifying leaderboard to broadcast AI. Besides, race room's free contents lets everyone can participate to the race.
Was Mozart.
Welcome back to the Global Edition Season 10, or as they say, Sawadee Cup to Thailand, boys. Here we are in beautiful and sunny Thailand, Zikri. So my name is Afiq, this is Zikri, and after the copper race, Emo Haziq will be back after his holiday last weekend. Anyway, we are in Buriram. It's the first time we've been here since G1?
Yeah, G1. It was. I never raced this track before. I never seen this track before in the flesh, so this is gonna be very exciting for me. Yeah.
It is going to be exciting, and not only that, it's also going to be exciting for the racers as well. But nevertheless, shout out to our sponsors, Excel Sports, Life Apparels, who currently my shirt is being washed, but Vikri is wearing his shirt. Royal Selangor, and we had an awesome press conference at Royal Selangor yesterday, so thank you to the folks in Royal Selangor for giving us the opportunity, providing these racers a very nice trophy. I mean, you come to sim racing, you want trophies, right? You don't care about the price, but the trophy is much nicer if you ask me. Anyway, Xbox Sunway, we got two Excel Academies now, one in Sunway Sirin, which is in the heart of Malaysia, which is Kuala Lumpur, and another one all the way down in Johor Bahru. So if you're in Singapore, do come and visit us. And last but not least, Race Room for providing us a good sim platform for every driver to race in a Global Edition Season 10. Anyway, hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing good as well. Now, looking forward back to last week's race. It was a little bit of a calamity. I mean, we haven't had GE10. We haven't had a Global Edition race, a season in, was it 5 months, 4 months, 4 to 5
Yeah,
months?
5 months.
Yeah, 5 months roughly. So it's great to be back to actually race in GE10. And, these drivers, we got 4 different classes here tonight. Copper, my highlight of every Global Edition, bronze. This guy was GE8 champion in bronze. And last but not least, in GT3 category, it is silver and gold. But first, why not we have a look at the track? Now, tonight's racetrack is...
It's Chang International Circuit. So, as you can see, it's straights galore. It's slipstream fiesta. From turn 1 to turn 4 onwards, it's just straights, and it's going to be a lot of overtakes. Do you think, Afiq?
Turn 1 overtake
No?
can be ambitious, but I feel like I feel like the opportunity for you to overtake is much more on turn 3. And turn 4, if you're ambitious, yes, but turn 4 is very difficult. Earl Bamber recently had a huge pileup that saw in a car, which resulted in a car hitting his driver's side and almost, breaking his bones or whatever. But he survived that race. Meanwhile, Copper class, currently they're in practice before we skip forward to the next session, which is qualifying. But first, why don't we talk about the standings after round 1, Zikri?
So Ozair is leading the way. In second place is Chris Chong, and third place Ahmad Abdullah. Ozair is doing really well. He won both rounds, and yeah, he's off to a great start. But now has a lot of ballast on him right now in a track that I think ballast will hinder him quite a lot.
Exactly, and the thing about ballast is that you get 15 kilograms if you finish in first place. If you're leading a championship, 12 kilograms of ballast if you're in second position, as we try and see whether we can have Ozai here. Oh yes, that's the boy. Championship leader Ozai Al-Qadri in the copper class in the Aquila CR1. Anyway, back to the ballast thing. 10 kilograms of ballast for P3, 8 kilograms of ballast for P4, 6 for 5, 5 for 6, 4 for 7. It's very difficult saying it this way.
Yeah.
It's very difficult saying it this way, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me. Nevertheless, where was I? 4 for 7, 3 for 8, 2 for 9, and 1 for 10.
You're doing very well there. Yeah.
Alright, at least I tried. I tried my best. Anyway, Ozai Al-Qadri going down to turn 3. This is turn 3. So you may think that this is turn 2, but no, it's actually not turn 2. It's actually turn 3, which is a hairpin. Then this is the left-hander turn 4, Zikri, which you mentioned. Why don't you take us for a lap?
Yeah, so he's going down straight to turn 4. It's a really wrong straight here. He still hasn't made it to turn 4. Now he's up purple already. Now down to turn 5. The second sector is like the most technical part of the track. Oh, I think he went wide. I'm not sure if he invalidated his lap. No, he's fine. But now he's gonna keep on going straight over the curbs. The car can take it on. Now onto the next turn now. On the right-hander, trying his best. Oh, does he go wide? Does he invalidate his lap? No. The track limits are pretty lenient right. Oh, he's aborted his lap, and yeah. Oh, that's a shame for Ozair right now. Let's see what we can find for who's in our flying lap. Chris Chang right now. Purple second sector. Down. Riding the curb like Ozair. Now this time he's going to go into the corner that Ozair did invalidate just now. Can he make it stay? As Ahmad Abdullah sets the fastest time of 1:41.8. Does he do well? Can he cross the line? Will he cross the line now?
It's going to be a while for this CR1 cars to cross the line. As Chris Chong has the
Pole.
full time of
There you go.
well, 40. Well, it's actually Afiq Aizat with a 41 flat. So, Amirul Afiq Aizat, you are not in Zoom. Otherwise, I would have shown you a beautiful face. But nevertheless, he's on pole at the moment. And with 3.5 minutes to go, he's actually carrying on. Well, carrying the momentum. What would you do? Do you back off, start from fresh, or do you carry the momentum?
I would back off because it's fresher tires. You just make sure that you have you carry less fuel, and then you'll be faster and thing. So yeah, I would back off, really restart again, get fresher tires, and yeah, just go with it.
Anyway, where is championship leader? Hello, championship leader. You are. Well, he hasn't said a lap. Nowhere. He's currently.
He invalidated his lap.
Yeah, he
on
validated his lap, but it's currently. Well, he should. Sector time should be showing by now, but at the moment it doesn't look like it. So it's a little bit strange there. Can't see what his sector time is. But meanwhile, let's go back to Paul and Amirul Afiq Aizat. 4 tenths down. Yeah, I think you're right, Zikri. Should have backed off.
Yeah, he's much slower in the second run, so not carrying the momentum can be beneficial, but at this case, I don't think so. It's gonna be.
Maybe yes, maybe no, maybe yes, maybe no. I don't know. Anyway, Chris Chong, what can Chris Chong do? Hello, sir. Oh, hello. All right, Zikri, take it.
So he's going. I think this is the last corner. Yeah, he's 2 tenths. He's nearly 2 tenths up on the second sector. Oh, it doesn't go wide. No, he doesn't. So now going to the start finish straight. Can he beat Paul? Can he beat Amirul Afiq Aizat? He does. 1/10 faster than Amirul Afiq.
Oh well, 1/10 faster than Amirul Afiq. Ozai actually set his fastest time of this qualifying session, still carrying the momentum. But nevertheless, Chris Chong on pole, still carrying the momentum, and has pipped Amirul Afiq, being the first one in the CR1 cars to actually dip into the 40s. So it goes to show that Chris Chong is probably one of the most what do you say, up and coming. He is probably a karter, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Chris Chong might be a karter. But the thing about it is that it's actually like improving, and that's what you do. As Arman Hashim, 9 thousandths of a second, boy.
Oh, that must be heartbreaking for him. There's not much time left for qualifying. He can't do a better time than that. So.
And Ahmad Abdullah as well, 3/100ths of a second behind. So, not about Amirul Afiq Aizat. You are still at 10.5 down in Sector 1. What about Sector 2? What can you do? Can you improve? It's gonna be difficult. Maybe it is, maybe it's not.
He did lose a lot of time in second 2 though. Oh, he went wide.
Well.
There you go. I think that invalidated his lap.
Well, it's still carrying on, if you ask me. It doesn't say anything that the lap being invalidated or whatever. But nevertheless, anyway, who else can we feature on to the show? Anyways, welcome to the championship, Imran Haikal. Running a bit wide there for SOL team. Isa Fuad as well. And also a privateer, so I'm guessing they're brothers because they are both running the same anime DP. Well, almost identical. I don't watch anime, but still. Anyway, pole position goes to Chris Chong. And Arman Hashim finishes second place. Amirul Afiq Aizat actually beats Chris Chong for pole position, so it's actually 4.45 for Amirul Afiq Aizat and Arman Hashim. Then that relegates Arman Hashim down to P3. Arman Abdullah in P4, Championship leader Ozai Al Qadri in P5, Imran Haikal in P6, Taiwei Chong in 7, Isa Fuad in 8, Shamin Sang in 9th, and Adam Control Lock is in 10. Anyway, Adam, you've always been stuck in copper. Please move up to bronze. It's heartbreaking for me because to see him still in copper. But his front pace is actually not bad.
Yeah, he's not bad at all. I think he's just didn't make a good lap in time. But what a lap from Amirul Afiq!
0.454!
And he was a 10 down in first sector. So
what a 10 down in first sector. So anyway, qualifying not so bad for some of these corporate drivers. Still, the gap is a little bit itchy-mitchy, but Amirul Afiq Aizat is a corporate driver nonetheless in our ranking system, which has which we have actually from when we started with G0, we had 0. Now we have 3,400 participants racing in eRacing GP from its inception all the way to the end. So thank you so much to everyone. Anyway, back to the race. So when are these drivers gonna show up? Ting 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 ting. I don't know. I'm still waiting for them. Anyway. What is going on?
Still 1 second left.
Still
Alright,
one
here we
second.
go.
Oh, there you go. Never mind. Anyway, 5 lights on the gantry, and as the lights go out, race 1 of the copper class will get underway right. Now it's a good start. I mean, it's an excellent start for both the front row of the grid. But nevertheless, Arman Hashim has moved up a position. Ozay Al-Qadri, being the biggest winner there, has moved up a position as well. What about Arman Abdullah?
Oh, there's a spin.
There's a spin. There is a yellow car, so I'm not sure who it is. It is probably Sherman Sang, and it is Sherman Sang. So anyway, Ozay Al-Qadri is still getting the slipstream of any other cars behind him. But you also have Arman Hashim. Roundy tries to overtake Chris Chang around the outside. Will he get the job done? Ooh, doesn't look like it, but actually does an all switcher loose. So actually that might have worked for Arman Hashim. Nice move there. I like it. Oh, there's also a spinner there into the wall, and that is Arthur Lowe. Arthur Lowe has spinned it and beat it into the wall. He's trying to reverse Arthur. That's not the way how you do it. You have to reverse it. Anyway, back to the lead. Abdul Rafiq Aizat still on the curves, still taking a lot of curves, Zaiki.
Yeah, right now Chris Chong has just dropped back, but Amir Rafiq is still holding on together. Arman Hashim is up there in second now. But yeah, it's a clean getaway for the leaders. Not so much at the back, but yeah, this is still tight to go, really.
Yeah, this is tight to go, as we can see Chris Chong going all the way, almost all the way to Olan there. Anyway, Ozay Al-Qadri is right behind him. He needs to know. Now, Ozay is quick, but how quick can you overtake Chris Chong, especially in a place like Buriram, where Zikri mentioned early on that it's a slipstream fest? Don't know per se, but nevertheless, Amrul Rafi Aizat going to the final corner will finish lap 1 of the race and will lead the way, followed up by Arman Hashim and Chris Chong in P3, unless Ozay Al-Qadri can actually make a move on him. As we can see, cars go wide there, cars go wide there, cars going wide all over the place, and you can see there's another car, 2 cars at the back, they're going wide again.
Yeah, you can see this there's side-by-side action behind as well. But right now, it's just single file at the moment, as Amir Rafi is leading this train of cars. Right in front of him, Arman Hashim in second and Chris Chong in third.
Anyway, slipstream fast for Arman Hashim. Will he make a move down the inside, going down to turn 3? Sees the opportunity, says no otherwise. And actually hits the back of Amir Rafi Aizat. Naughty boy by Arman Hashim there.
Yeah, well, I think Amir Rafi was a bit outbreak himself, I think, as well. But yeah, both of them collide. But at least no spinners at the moment, so that's really good. So they keep on going and yeah, just keep on racing, really.
And look at that, Amir Rafi Aizat actually takes a lot more curb than going to turn 4, but a lot of sparks there coming out as well. Didn't really spin the car, so I think that's okay.
Yeah.
But didn't spin when suspension damage can be a factor in this.
Yeah, I don't know how big the curves are in Buriram, really, but I've seen DTM cars getting
Chris Chong spins it, tries to make a move down the inside of Arman Hashim, but he says nope, I'm not gonna have it. He actually taps the side of Arman Hashim, and look at that, Ozay Al-Qadri as well, almost hitting the side there. Will he actually get the job done? No, he's backing off. But look at that, Imran Haikal, debuted in the championship, trying to make a move down the inside, going down the last corner. Will he make the move stick? Oh, it's actually backing off, so it's actually playing it safe here, Imran Haikal. It's actually making wonders for him, actually. It's a nice thinking by Imran Haikal.
Yeah, he's going side by side, but right now Ozai has the slipstream of Arman Hashim in front. But they're still side by side. Can he make it stick? Oh, okay.
No. He's actually playing it very smartly.
Yeah.
Now, slipstream fast in Buriram. Turn 3 is the hairpin that you want to overtake. Ozay defends the inside line going down to turn 3. That leaves no room whatsoever for Imran to overtake him down the inside, and Imran has to overtake round the outside. Will he get the job done? Oh my god, he's actually trying to make it work. Almost made it work. That's impressive. I mean, not a bad start, not a bad debut here by Imran Haikal.
Yeah, and he's gonna get the inside line on the next corner as well, in the next two corners as well. So he might get this position, might get this move done really.
Anyway, that'll promote him to the podium as well as, oh, Jose, what are you doing, boy? That's a naughty move. That turns it into a car that's already on the inside, so we don't promote that here. And if Imran Haikal were to protest, like he can, as Imran Haikal sticks his inside line, holds his ground and says, this is my position now. Go down to P4.
Right now, Chris Chang has moved down to P8. That's a big gap. He's lost a lot of time from that collision itself, and he just can't. Yeah, I hope he doesn't have damage, so that he can call back this race really.
Hey, hold on, let me check. No damage whatsoever by Chris Chang.
That's good.
Okay, anyway, back to the front. Amirul Afiq Aizat still leads the way for FSA Racing. There is an FSA 1-2 with Arman Abdullah right behind him as well. Then you have Ozay Al-Qadri trying to find a move on the inside, but doesn't look like it thinks otherwise. But you have the other debutant, which is probably Imran's younger brother, or maybe same brother, or not sure, but I think they might be related. Anyway, Isa Fuad.
Yeah, the debutants are doing really well, isn't it? Isa and Imran, they're doing super well. Up to top, they did top, both in the top 5 in their first race. So yeah, it's going so well for them right now.
Oh well, Ozay, what can you do around the outside? Oh, what the hell? Isa Fuad has a snake stream fence. He's actually overtaken Ozay. Well, he's moved like a rocket, hasn't he?
Is Ozay also tried to slow down? Oh, okay.
But Ozay needs to be very sensible here. The more he actually gets into a collision, the more he knows that it's actually going to do more harm than good.
Yeah, and he has to be wary of his penalty points. Even though it's 50 points, yeah, it's a lot of collisions can cause that. Even especially when he crosses, when he cuts the curb or touch other drivers as well. So right now he has to be a bit careful with that. But yeah, he just keep on pushing at the moment right now.
Anyway, Tai Wei Chong is still pressuring at the backside of Ozay Al-Qadri, but doesn't look like he can get the job done. Amirul Afiq Aizat and FSC Racing is currently flying at the moment, so it's a 1-2 for them. We've got 8 minutes and 40 seconds to go before the end of race 1. But Isa Fuad is actually catching up to Imran Haikal. Huh? Brotherly fight or cousinly fight, or I'm not sure how it works here. Never heard of them. So congratulations, you are now famous.
Yeah. Well, they should be famous anyway. They're doing very well right now.
And they're actually doing very well for debutants as well, and capitalizing on the mistake made by Jose himself, as Tai Wei Chang around the outside goes in, and around the inside into the final corner, which is turn 12. Can he get the job done on Jose going to turn 1? Yes, he can, but he's actually going to back off, knowing that he'll actually have the slipstream to turn.
He's doing the same thing as what Imran Haikal did as well. His slipstream going down to turn 3, like you said, is the best place to overtake. So yeah.
Alright, slingshot that move, Tai Wei Chong. What can you do? Will you dive down the inside? You're a bit further back, so I don't think that overtaking opportunity will happen whatsoever. Meanwhile, it's actually a bit wider for Tai Wei Chong. And it's actually Chris Chong as well, tries to make a move around the inside of Arman Abdullah, but Arman Abdullah closes the door on him. So anyway, it's a Fuad. Where is he? Oh yeah, in P4.
Yeah.
Not bad. Anyway, further down we got people racing for the academy. Because Racing Kubal, again, Ozay is also racing for the academy as well. So if you want to race in the academy, just let us know. You don't have to ring, come here.
Yeah.
Provide it. Anyway, who else? Adri Amit as well. Adri Amit, young boy Adri, my favorite. Well, I couldn't say my favorite anyway, but it's a nice boy to talk to, Adri Amit. Still doing really well here, like minding his own business with his Fanatec room, and he's actually got a nice room.
Yeah, he
I'm
does.
quite jealous for his age.
He has a better room than me, and I'm 23. Oh no.
Oh no. Anyway, further back behind, John Ricascon. Hello, John Ricascon. Welcome back to the championship. We have not seen you in a while. Oh, a bit. Actually, almost on the 360 there, 720 there, and it's collected by Adam as well. So Adam getting involved in these collisions as well. But anyway, Sherman Sang, Adam Kondolokis, and John Ricascon involved in the incident as well. John Ricascon tries to find a move around the outside, going to turn 11, but doesn't get the job done anyway.
That's not really good. Welcome back, isn't it?
Oh, that's not that's not an excellent welcome back for John Ricascon, but it's going to be a good welcome back for him as he dives on the inside, goes to... Huh?
Wow.
Wow, okay, I've not seen that before. Derek Chang.
Naughty,
disqualified.
naughty. I think he
Naughty,
went over the track.
The penalty points.
The penalty points. Yeah.
I thought
Yes,
if you pass the penalty, excessive cutting. No, it's actually not. It's
Oh.
excessive cutting. So, what were you trying to do, Derek Chang? Okay, viewers, let's play. Guess what Derek Chang did? I pay $5 CP to answer the question.
Well, I wonder.
I wonder as well. Anyway, Isa Fuad. Now, Isa Fuad still sticking in the rear of Imran Haikal. Well, at the moment at least, well, a lot of curves have been taken by all these cars. Or yeah, a lot of curves.
These cars can handle curbs really well. I'm a bit surprised.
Well, it's,
Because-
it's better than the other cars as well. I mean, these CR1 cars are purpose-built cars for one big series.
I see. Yeah, but then if he's comparing to the F3, and I think the DTM is going to be unbearable compared to the CR1 cars. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's good to see.
Anyway, gotta show some love to the guys fighting at the back of the grid here. Chairman Chang and Johnny Cascon is not giving up with my tagline without a damn fight. Anyway, Johnny Cascon tries to find a move around the outside, but it's actually a bit rusty, isn't it, Johnny Cascon?
Yeah.
I haven't played sim racing for quite some time, so I get a little bit rusty as well. I think Johnny Cascon has the same thing. Anyway, moving up the grid, Henrico, a returning Henrico into the championship from all the way in Singapore, which is the causeway. Craig Burdos, welcome to the championship. With Max friend.
Oh no.
George Pervian would approve this. Anyway, Imran Haikal is actually, hello, some spicy action going on there. Imran Haikal has the outside line going to turn 4, but Isa Fuad has the inside line going to turn 4. So anyway, Isa Fuad will make the move down the inside unless actually backs softer.
It's rather clean from the debutants as well. How they're racing and stuff like that. They're pretty. Are they clean?
They are clean, which is very impressive as well.
Yeah.
Okay, sure, you don't have to pace like the two FSA guys at the moment, but still give some time. Give some time and you can actually get up to pace.
Yeah, it's really encouraging signs at the moment right now, and I can't wait to see their improvements throughout the season. Really.
Yeah, Oza Al-Qadri is carrying, mind you, Oza Al-Qadri is carrying 15 kilograms of ballast as well. Meanwhile, up ahead, we need to go back on the debutants. Isa Fuad and Imran Haikal. Singaporeans versus Singapore. Two Singaporeans fighting each other for, well, I don't know really, but probably like for honors. There you go.
For the last place on the podium, really.
For the last, not only that, but ladies and gentlemen, it's actually a 5-way fight for the last place on the podium. 1, 2, 3, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Hold on. Imran Haikal, Isa Fuad, Oza Al-Qadri, Tai Wei Chong, and Chris Chong actually fighting it out. And anyway, now Imran Haikal, the biggest loser here, going out of turn 1 because he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 CR1 cars on his rear. Anyway, Chris Chong, will he make the move down the inside? Looks like he can get a 2 for 1 here. Chris Chong, a bit ambitious, but it doesn't seem like it. Is of what still sticking behind Imran Haikal.
Yeah, right. I don't know if Tai Wei Chong and Chris Chong are communicating together. It looks like Tai Wei Chong just game play. I hope. Well, it's maybe sound like it, but yeah. But right now, it looks like Chris Chong has got a leeway now to attack Ozaya right now. So yeah.
Actually, we have Isa Fuad. So let's give a focus on Isa Fuad, who is not doing bad. He's got a T300 with him, by the looks of things. Yeah, it is a T300, or maybe a T150. Anyway, Isa Fuad has got 1 lap to go. Well, actually 1.25 lap to go before the end of the race.
Yeah. Right now they're still neck and neck, 3rd and 4th at the moment, with Ozai right behind him. So it's all to play for that final podium position right now.
Exactly, and now look at that, 4 or 5 cars actually. Now, for Tai Wei Chong, it is basically a bit too far-fetched for him, but you have Oza Al-Qadri for company right behind. Handsome boy Isa Fuad is still in P4. Chris Chong tries to find him down the inside, but doesn't look like it. Anyway, show some love to Isa Fuad here, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, Ozai currently down the inside. Isafwa is getting sandwiched. She's gonna get sandwiched by Chris Chang and Ozai Alcantara as well. Isafwa stays on the outside. Will he actually do the switcheroo on Ozai? Ooh, as she stays in, and it's actually 3 wide going to turn 3 and almost getting collected. That is Chris Chang. Anyway, side by side, Archie Bargy there by Isafwa on Ozai. So looks like Imran Haikal is actually sitting very comfortably in P3, so this is the final. So this is important for Ozai's championship because he needs to finish his race, and finishing P4 actually a very good race 1. As look at that, Chris John dies down the inside. No, Isafwat tapping him, but then here comes Chris Chong on Ozai Al-Qadri.
Yeah, Ozai was a bit, I think he was a bit naughty trying to squeeze off Chris Chong around the outside. Here goes the inside, goes Isa Fuad now, and it's so close between these three really, and not far behind is Tai Wei Chong behind. Oh wait, has Ozai gone? Is Ozai gone from the server again?
Oh no! Oh, wait,
oh no, he spun.
He spun.
He spun. Is he stuck? Is he back to Holland again?
Oh well, anyway, yeah, we're gonna investigate in a bit, right? But nevertheless, Amirul, Afiq, Aizat, yes, and Afiq wins in ERGP Copper class. Finally, ha! Amar actually finishes in second place. Imran Haikal debuted in third place, and we have Isa Fuad in P4, Chris Chong in P5, Taiwei Chong in P6, Arman Abdullah, who had a miserable race here, race 1, let's be honest, in P7, Adriamid in P8 actually, hasn't crossed the line yet. Basically sitting very comfortably here.
It looks very lonely, isn't it? It's just him. There's no one behind him. There's no one in front of him. It's just a lonely race, you know.
Reminds me of the Akon song, Lonely. I am so lonely. Anyway, running up your top 10 is actually going to be Adam Konjolokis. Oh, Adam finishes in the top 10. Ah, congratulations, Adam Konjolokis. Well, what could have been? He could have actually finished in P7, but nevertheless, he got caught up in the incident between Johnny Casco and Shannon Sang. But nevertheless, I thought it's actually a winner today.
Well done to Amirul. I think it was a clean race from him. Led from start.
Oh, Mika is actually gone as well. So it's actually the two races.
Okay, that is really interesting right now. But yeah, well done to Amirul Afiq, and yeah, it's all comes down to race 2 now. Looks like it.
Oh, well, all comes down to race 2. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your leaderboard. This is your standings, final standings for race 1. Now, remember, 25 points for race 1, and so on and so on. We're following the Formula 1 format. And, well, not a bad job for the debutants. We are Singaporeans 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th respectively. Then you are then in the Malaysian sandwich.
Yeah, that's really good for the Team Nations Cup.
That's very good for the Nations Cup as well. But nevertheless, Malaysia prevails for race 1 so far. And we also have Singaporeans very up close. Anyway, I like that race. Now, what a nice way to start the day.
Yeah, it was a really good race. It was pretty clean race for copper class really. And yeah, it's great to see debutants high up there, and it's great to see new faces doing very well in the moment. So yeah,
Doing excellent at the moment. Anyway, this is ERGP Global Edition Season 10, 10th edition of this Global Edition, sanctioned by MAM and Afiq, Zikri, Elmo will come in after this. But yeah, we're just waiting for race 2 to show up in a bit, and yeah, so we have a beautiful backdrop of Chang. Well, another Herman Tilke track, isn't it?
yeah, I really. It looks like from my perspective a really enjoyable track. It looks like it, but I wish I could drive right now. But yeah, it's good to see you.
Yeah, so basically this is what I think Herman Tilke had a thought process. So in Valencia, the Valencia MotoGP track that they always race on, the final race of the season, it's actually the whole grandstand is like you can see the entire track from whichever grandstand you're at.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, so probably you can also do the same, as we have all cars lined up on a grid. Good boy John Rick Cascon is actually on pole position, but nowhere to be seen is Jose is not here, Mika is not here, lights go green, and we go racing again for race 2 tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Henrico being the biggest winner here from today's fight. Well, 3rd to 1st really. Good start for Enrico, but nevertheless we've got cars running wide there. That blue car needs to be careful on re-entry. we have Aman Abdullah as well, Aman Hashim in last place, and still nowhere to be seen as the championship leader. So it's not been a good race for him and Mika so far.
Yeah, right now it's just it's a day to forget for him right now. But and Chris Chong is still in this race. Oh, and Adam Kondrolochi, I think, caused an accident.
Too much speed there. And that's actually Adrian. Poor boy.
no.
Arthur Lowe as well. Poor. These two have had a horrible race to start so far. But nonetheless, Chairman Sang is actually fighting with Enrico. So anyway, a change up in the lead at the moment. Enrico is leading the way as Chairman Sang tries to make a move from the outside. Turns in on Enrico. Almost collecting there, and around the outside also goes John Rick Cascon.
And in one corner alone, oh well, I was about to say he's about to lose 2 positions at one corner, but right now he kept it together, and he just have to push on. Right, Chris Chong is right behind these 3, and he's really trying to make trying to put a charge on as Ozai is out of this race. So he's trying to make as much points as possible so that he can be in top of the league.
You gotta be careful there, Enrico. You saw Chris Chong there around the inside, but couldn't do anything there by Enrico. Anyway, Chris Chong is actually getting closer and closer and closer. So we're gonna have a much nicer race too here for your entertainment, ladies and gentlemen. Oh,
It's
as
a
we actually have
battle.
an incident behind there. Oh, it's actually not. I thought it was an incident by raceman with Rafi Isaac.
Oh, there's an incident there.
Oh, and it's Conjo again.
Oh,
So you know it's Conjo Lockett because it's always riding the same color livery. Anyway, very recognizable. Meanwhile,
oh, he spun again. No.
oh well, again for Chris Chong, hits the wall for good measure. Tapping the side of Sherman Sang. Unlucky there for Chris Chong.
And this is where you improve your racecraft. From here, I think he was a bit too overambitious trying to get through on the first corner. That amount of road that he made up, he lost it in one corner alone.
Well, goes to show pace isn't everything. Racecraft is also important. You need to be aware of your surroundings, like what Kevin Palmer says.
Yeah.
Julian Palmer says. I thought it was Kevin Palmer. I got it mixed up. Anyway, Lisa Ford still in P3. So where did he come from? I have no idea. But he's actually in P2 at the moment. Sherman Sang is all the way still in the lead 2.7, but it's actually not far off. Race 1 winner Amirul Afi Aizat is currently in P3, so he's actually you gotta be careful with Amirul Afi Aizat. Naughty boy, don't do that again.
Wasn't he P11 at the start of this lap, and then he climbed up to straight up to P3 now? It's a crazy amount of positions he gained. Was he P11? I can't remember, but he was really far back. He was
Yeah, plus.
11.
Anyway, yes, Amirul Afi Aizat in P3. Will he catch up to Isa Fuad? We'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, Tai Wei Chong, Henrico is right behind Amirul Afi Aizat, but doesn't look like he can pressure Amirul at the moment. We do have Henrico. Okay, we gotta move back down. AJ Amit, who's I don't know. He's had a poor start, but now he's in P8, so probably in safe hands right now.
Yeah, he's
In the top half of the grid.
yeah, he's just trying to get into the rhythm right now. Trying to, he's still in P8. He's still decent points haul, but I think he will want to finish a bit higher than this.
Oh well, around the inside, Henrico. Why not you dive down the inside? Doesn't look like it. He's actually going very straight, and he's actually going to cut back. So it's not going to work out that way. You know why? Because wait, hold on. Oh, spinner there. Oh, hello, spinner there. Oh, and it's actually AJ Amit.
No.
Oh, it's not AJ.
It's not.
Too many orange cars to con. It's actually green cars to con. It's actually Tai Wei Chong. So poor race so far. Derek Chang as well. Derek Chang has moved up to P5 due to the collision with due to Tai Wei Chong spinning, but that leaves Amanashin right behind him.
Yeah, and it's it's been chaotic at the moment right now. It's been a lot of spinners around, spinnings, and I'm speechless right now at the moment right now.
Isa Fuad. I told you he's getting quicker. Look at that, he's actually getting quicker. Meanwhile, handsome boy. Why don't we show handsome boy Isa Fuad? He's actually looking very focused there. Look at that. You can see his driving face. Alex Young criticized me. Alex Young made fun of my driving face because he says that I have eyes as wide as a. Which animal has wide eyes again?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't study biology, but nevertheless, Oh, and it's actually disqualified.
Who?
I saw another disqualification as well. It's actually 2 disqualifications.
Is
So
Imran Haikal as well out? Oh,
so Johnny
wow.
Kasper and Derek Chang is out.
Oh wow, that's a lot of drivers that are out at the moment. Oh, Imran Haikal, what happened to him?
What is going on? We're gonna have to wait and see. Taipei Chang being the only guy on the grid here, being in last position, and we have 4 retirements so far. So very strange.
Yeah, that's very, very strange at the moment. And I don't know what's happening right now, but yeah, gonna have to keep on going. Really, Isa Fuad now very close to Sherman Sang as he got the inside line. Does he have the move stick? Oh, he run the outside. Sherman Sang keeps it together, and yeah, he keeps the position. And he lives to fight another day. Really, Isa Fuad can't seem to be in P1 at the moment.
Oh, it's actually getting closer to Sherman Sang. But, you know, good news for the other Afrik in this race so far. Ha! Amir Afrik is actually getting closer, but how close? We have no idea.
He's
He's a foot down the inside. Playing it safe, playing it smart. It's actually, almost.
yeah, he almost getting pulled there.
Anyway,
But now he's gonna try to get the inside of the last corner. Can he make it? No.
if you have the Mexican Minister of Defense by Sergio Perez, we have Malaysian Minister of Defense. Forget the real Malaysian Minister of Defense. We have the new Minister of Defense. Sherman Sang is actually defending like his life depends on it, because he's actually leading race 2.
But Isa Fuad, I think he's being really smart at the moment. He's gonna try to overtake on the third corner. Yeah. So right now, out of his slipstream, going round the outside. Can he make it stick? Oh, can he make it stick right now? Very close to each other. Is he going to try to cut back on the inside? No. He does. Can he make it side by side right now? Sherman Singh went on the curb.
It looks like he has a much better drive there. So by the looks of things, Fuad leads the way for the first time in today's race, and for the first time in his ERGP debut.
Well done to Isa Fuad right now, and he's done amazingly. Third now to first. Oh, Sherman Singh trying to dive it on the inside. Can he? No, he can't. Close the door, Isa Fuad, and this reels into Amirul Afiq right behind and really lurking to get a double win today.
Well, if you're a Malaysian boy, please be proud. Amirul Afiq Aizat is in the way. If you're a Singaporean, Majulah Singapore, please root for Isa Fuad, who's actually leading in his debut.
Yeah, really well done right now. He's doing really well to keep these two behind right now, and it's gonna be a very tight finish to the line. Really, still 6 minutes to go, but yeah.
Anything can happen, like we say.
Right. So Tai Wei Chong right now is no more last place anymore. He's still keeping up, but yeah, I think after that spin kind of ruined his race. But he's still trying to crawl back more points than he.
If you heard of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, you're gonna love Keeping Up with Tai Wei Chong. Anyway, Isa Fuad is in first position still, and Malaysian Amirul Afiq Aizat, race 1 winner here. He's gonna dive down the inside of Sherman Sang.
Yeah, it's good. He's making it. He's doing the smart move with going to the inside on turn 3.
Oh, it's actually, maybe Sherman Sang is actually giving the win.
Oh, really?
Maybe, because look at that, it's actually like gapping, and that will allow. Hello, Amirul Afiq Aizat gets closer.
Yeah. Right now, Amirul Afiq Aizat, he looks really good to get 2 positions at once here at the moment, right? Two wins in what? In 2 races, yeah. Into 2 wins in 2 races, yeah.
Anyway, battle for other place. Control, come on, control. And the other Control is fighting up against Adrian Ahmed. Again, we are rooting for everyone here to perform well, and regardless whether they finish first or last, we are still proud of them for what they have achieved. But yeah, Adam Konjolokis here in P7 will have an opportunity to move up a position if he were to overtake Adrian Ahmed.
Now, Adrian Ahmed is driving pretty okay at the moment, keeping contrast behind. As here we go, we see Amirul Afiq Aizat running on the outside of
Overshoot.
He's a forward. Oh, he overshoot. Oh no.
Oh well.
And he lost. He didn't lose
Almost
the
lost
position.
it.
Yeah, he
Almost
must
lost
lose the
it.
position right now. But he lost a lot of time. He's a forward. He's a forward. I think he did. I think he was thinking very well there. He's a forward. I think.
Thinking out loud by Isafwan. Anyway, a lot of puns going out here tonight as Conjurer has overtaken AJ. I mean, never mind. Oh, I spoke too soon.
I think the commentator's curse is on you right now.
Yeah, it is. Anyway, yeah, I think I gotta keep my mouth shut whenever Adam Conjuloki guys.
Right now, Isaford has gained a gap around a second now. So he's making. I think he's just taking the chance really well right now. But Amir Alfie Isaac, he's gonna claw that. He's gonna claw that time back as quickly as possible in the second two, and then he's gonna try to win this race. I think.
Indeed, he is.
Right now, Isa Fuad going through sector 2. Look at Amir Afi Aizad really closing in. 4 tenths now down to 3 tenths. It's going to be a close battle. We've still got 3 minutes left to go. It's still all to play for. Is this going to be a strategic game? Is he going to go for turn 3? Is he going to wait for turn 3? Or is he going to try to get through Isa Fuad on this sector 2 alone? And yeah, get that lead already. And possibly like 2 more laps to go.
Okay, let's play guess the song. Who can it be now? It's actually Abdul Rafi Aizad knocking on Isafuan's door.
Yeah, it's really tight defense there from Isa Fuad now going through the first corner, and much better drive from Amirul Afi Aizad here. Look at the drive that he got there after that first corner, and now he's up to first place. Isa Fuad now dives into the slipstream. Can he make a move for turn 3? Does he make it? No, he doesn't. He thinks better of it. Oh, he outbraked himself actually. He's luckily he didn't hit Amir Afiq right behind there. But yeah, well done to Amir Afiq. Just settled in the first corner itself, and now he's leading the way with 2 minutes left to go.
Sherman Sang is alongside Aman Hashim. Where did Aman Hashim come from? I have not seen him throughout the entire race, but hello Aman Hashim.
He's been very quiet. He's just slowly gathering his way up into 4th position at the moment. But Sherman Shang again defending like his life depends on it right now.
That's my catchphrase.
Really? I stole it from you, really.
Yeah, but meanwhile up ahead, tries to get closer. Well, it tries to like extend, but except for it's actually getting closer and closer. Meanwhile, it's actually Chris Chang.
Oh wow! Oh, again he's making unnecessary dives at the moment. He's gonna ruin his race, like what happened in turn 1 at the start of this race. So he's gotta be careful. He's gotta think properly about his moves, and he can win races, I think.
But he's just races, yeah. But Chris Chang needs to be very sensible with his racecraft.
Yeah.
Who actually has a cutback on Amanashin. Will he actually cross the line? Oh, actually beats Amanashim to the line. Imagine that happens on the next lap. He's a final lap of the race. Meanwhile, Isa Fuad, where are you actually?
Oh, he's closed up the gap to Amir Afi Aizad now in this last lap of the race. Now, can he line up for turn 3? Is he gonna be late on the brakes again? No. He's much more conservative. Oh, okay. I said that too soon, really. He's lost the time.
There's this thing in Malaysian motorcycling scene that only happens in Malaysia. So there's this thing called the Superman. So Isa Ford needs to do the Superman, but not on a bike, but on a car to actually get closer aerodynamically and get faster as well to Isaac, but doesn't look like it. Meanwhile, Chris Chang has actually overtaken Aman.
There you go, Chris Chang. Well done. He's up to the podium positions after his.
Should I say well done, Zikri? The race still hasn't ended yet.
Well, I'm gonna say anyway. I believe the commentator's curse does not exist, and I think he's gonna keep on 3rd place there. Okay. So yeah.
You see, folks, but we've been on the commentary for quite some time, and whenever we praise another driver, that driver will actually get involved in the collision whatsoever. Anyway, let's hope that doesn't happen to Chris Chang. But meanwhile, Amir Afi Isaac is still holding his ground. Isa Fuad, look at that. Cool, calm, and stressed out at the moment. Like that 21 Pilots song.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to Rafi Isaac here. We'll exit the final corner of this 4.554 kilometer Chang International Circuit. Well, we can't say Chang, but Buriram International Circuit. And we'll win for the second time of the day. Race 2 in round 2 of the eRacing Global Edition Season 10. And Chris Chong actually finished ahead of Marshim and Sherman Sang. So it's a point in finish for Chris Chong.
What did I tell you? See? The competitor's curse does not exist.
Okay,
See, Chris Chong doesn't.
maybe I should retire as a commentator. Anyway, congratulations to Mira Faisal, congratulations to debutant Isa Fuad, and I think my driver of the day, regardless, even if it's Amir Rafi Aizat, I'm gonna give credits to the debutants.
Isa Fuad as well. I would say as well. He's my driver of the day as well. What a really good debut. Second and third in his first race of the season. I think is one of a kind, really.
Well, one of a kind instead. Meanwhile, can we have Isa Fuad on an interview as we go down the order of who finishes where? So Zikri?
So Amira Aizat finishes in first, and Isa Fuad finishes in second. Chris Chong third. Arman Hashim finished in fourth place. Sherman Sang, the defense of Malaysia at the moment, P5. Adrian Amit from P8 down up to P6. Really well done to him. Arthur Low P7. He got a DNF last race, so he did very well this race. Tai Wei Chong after his spin comes up to P8. And the controller is P9, and I do not know who was P10.
I don't know who was P10 either. But meanwhile, hello, it's a Fuad. You actually look a lot better in Zoom.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear? Okay, perfect then. Hello. Okay, so anyway. Congrats on your debut. Actually, a good showing so far, and we are very impressed with your performance.
How was it today? How was that? How was the stress? How was the?
Well, but nevertheless, that time will actually come, and that first win will actually be more sweeter than it is.
Yeah.
So congratulations. You're my driver today. You're my driver of the day.
It's my driver.
All right,
yeah.
both of us are driver of the day, and I don't know about the viewers as well. But thank you for putting on a good show. See you on the next
See you
one.
next round, man.
See ya. Anyway, there you go. Handsome boy. Isa Fuad.
That was a good couple of races we had today. I think it's a good couple round 2, and yeah.
Oh well. Anyway, then here comes my favorite. Bronze, everybody. Bronze. Again, spell it with me, Zikri.
Bronze.
Okay, correct. I thought you spelled it wrong there. Okay, this is bronze. Next up is bronze category in the Formula 3 car. Equal cars for everyone. Fixed setup for everyone. Times 1 tire wear. Times 2 fuel wear, which is the same as copper. And from what we saw last week, it was a overtaking fest. If you thought Red Bull Ring was bad, the race in Red Bull Ring was good, come to Buriram. See you in a bit, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break from our sponsors.
Things to be aware of organizing eRacing Championship without race room. First, no automated leaderboard would always be labor intensive. Elimination round would be the only way to filter the winners. Having the participants adhering to the schedule would be a huge test. We need to know the task will get bigger when participants increases. Time consuming. Organizing eRacing Championship without race room, it's all need run manually to take down the participants and eliminate them from first round group to final round group. Because it is manual human labor, there bound to be human error. Manual human labor would have a price tag for the man-hours involved. New participants would never have chance. The e-racing clubs in the world will send their best racers to participate the race. But that means your championship exposure is just limited to the eRacing clubs. Why choose Race Room? Our 3E official championship have fully automated leaderboard. Participants can log in anytime to leave the fastest lap time within the qualifying period. Each of the racers already have their ranks with Race Room. Next, save time. You can have unlimited amounts of participants in a super short time to qualifying them to final race. Race Room can cover unlimited amount of participants. We have a full automated esports ecosystem from qualifying leaderboard to broadcast AI. Besides, Race Room's free contents lets everyone can participate to the race.
That was Mozart.
Sawadee-krap to Thailand, as they say it. Sawadee-krap, which is welcome.
Yep. Or Sawadika if you're a female.
Yeah, Sawadee-krap if you're a female as well. But let's not go to that extent. Anyway, Emo Hazik is back. How are you?
Yeah, fine. It's been a while actually. Yeah, I think it's been about 2 months since I was last on the ERGB broadcast. But glad to be back though, because from what I saw just now, the copper racing was amazing. It's just, you would not believe how intense the competition is there. But we're going to go into a bronze class that is known to be very competitive, especially given the fact that the last couple of seasons that we've been using the Formula 3 cars, it's been absolutely crazy.
It has been absolutely crazy. Returning to the championship here, Yang Ming-Chu is having absolute fun. Just fooling around, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think he should be in right now because he is going to join the gold-silver race after this. But guess he just wants to come back for funsies because it is a throwback to the time that he was battling for the championship. Remember, he and Zikri battling for G8 honors. That was an insane battle for the championship, wasn't it?
It was an insane battle for the championship, but meanwhile, we gotta go, What is Chang International Circuit? Well, Chang is a beer company, and it's actually called Buriram, but they sponsored Chang, so they got the naming. So Chang sponsors the whole thing and buys the naming right. So it's actually called Chang International Circuit, just like how Camp Nou was renamed to Spotify Camp Nou.
Yes.
Anyway, let's not go to football. You gotta take a look at the track here. It's
Yes.
actually
Yep, but incidentally, because it is actually part football, you know that this is also called the Buriram United Circuit. So there's that. The Chang Circuit, 4.539 kilometers clockwise with 12 corners in total. So it's relatively flat, and apparently Race Room actually got the blueprints to the circuit that the Tilke company made for the circuit. So it's almost accurate to how it is should be, but in terms of elevations, rather flat, isn't it? Yes, it's you can have some curvatures there, but it's relatively on a plateau.
it's a little bit like the Valencia Street Circuit, like how I was talking to Zikri earlier on. Yeah, I quite like it. Meanwhile, let's go to the driver standing after round 1.
Yep, Roy Numa Ripper Rip. We can just call him Roy Ripper Rip for
I'm
short.
just gonna call him Roy from now on.
Yep, Roy finally converted a pole position to a win after for so long that he tried to turn pole into a win. He's finally got it last time out, and now he's just about 4 points ahead. So he didn't have such a good race too, but Keith Moden in the midst of it. And remember, he just got awarded recently in Royal Slango with the trophies that we have. So he would love to actually get another championship notch up onto his resume.
Notch up onto your resume. This for young boy Keith. Where is Keith? I don't see a Keith more. I see a Henrik more. I don't know Keith more. Anyway.
Yep, Keith is actually still not in, and I'm thinking I'm looking at the timing screen as well. Roy Ripper Rip about 2 tenths faster than Azwan Anwar in the FSA team car. And you have to remember, FSA really have come up trumps here with how many drivers are competing in each class, and that's why they are the reigning team's champions. But we'll get into that a bit later on as we now look through some of the guest starring drivers, including Yang Ming. They're giving Oze quite a fright.
Yeah, what happened to Oze just now?
Well, we can safely say for unfortunate circumstances that the internet throughput fell out for just 1 second. And in Axel, they are actually trying to reset the routers every single time. We did so, and somehow for a momentary second, the connection just dropped out for a measly couple of seconds, and it was enough to actually crash the game for them.
Unfortunate. But,
So yeah.
Anyway, good news for FSA Racing and Academy, even though they're racing with the Academy. But 83 points in second place. FSA Racing leading the way again. So it's going to be FSA Racing winning the championship again.
Yep, and if things go where they stand, with the Academy also really having in between races, especially in the copper class just now, we might see FSA running away again. But you got to remember, there's still 8 races left to go in essence in this six races left to go in this championship. So that's for the teams. The Nations Cup standings. So far, only 6 countries have competed, but is no less competitive, with Malaysia, Singapore, and Philippines leading once again, ruling the roost here with all 3 nations from last season, top 3 again this time.
Yep, top 3 again this time. And we're going to fast forward to the next session because who was going to wait that long anyway? Not me. Anyway, yeah, so looking forward again.
Yeah.
It has always delivered. It has always delivered.
Yeah, it's
I think the one class that you can't really skip on is sponsor.
absolutely, because they become the de facto intermediate class because gold and silver have combined nowadays. But it's always those lower classes that provide the most entertainment, and this is no exception. So we're waiting for some of the other guys to go, including the likes of Craig Burdos, who returns for another season, the Filipino, and whereas Roy is actually on a lap as well. So we have to actually go on board with Roy here to find out how it's like. And I think you've already gotten acquainted to the circuit. Why did you take us around in a lap around here?
Quite acquainted with the circuit. I don't think I am. I've never driven here before. I've only raced here once for fun, and that's about it. But anyway, 5th gear and going to turn 2, which is left-hander king, and up to 6th gear, which is his right-hander king. Then you have to hard brake into 2nd gear for the hairpin turn, which is turn 3. But well, Roy actually stays in 3rd gear. If you're in the GT3 car, you're probably going to go down to 2nd gear. 4th gear, 5th gear, use all the rest. 6th gear is going to be on now. Then hug as wide as you can going into the track, and which is turn 4, as Roy actually has a purple sector. Going to turn 5 now, approaching turn 6, entering turn 6 now before this left right hander which is 6-7, and then well, not long straight per se, but it's actually good. It's actually a sizable straight into turn 8, turn 9, which is his right-hander, and this is where I love the most. Well, MotoGP bikes looks brilliant around this part of the track, which is turn 9, turn 10 right around here, then another turn 11, which is small kink to the right. Final corner, I don't know, 75-degree corner?
Yep, and you remember Fabio Quartararo and Marc Marquez in their famous squabble in 2019? Was it 2019?
Yeah, 19.
It was the final. It was the final corner, and Quartararo got outfoxed by Marquez there. As speaking of outfoxing, there's Ripper Rip going on to the top of the timing sheets by over 7/10 of the guys who have set time so far.
Yeah, 7/10 by the guys from the guys who set the time so far. Anyway, yeah. So at the moment, yeah, Roy leads the way. Azwan Anwar in P2. Azwan Anwar in P2. Yeah. Chris Chang in P3, Shafiq Danish in P4, which is not so bad of a lap. But what profile picture is that? Oh my goodness!
It's a cat with a binky. It's a cat with a pacifier. You can clearly see that. So yes,
that's not a kitten. That's not a kitten.
That's not a baby.
That's not a baby.
Yeah, it's a cat with a binky in his mouth. But either way, Shafiq Danish is no baby on the circuit. He had a good first round. He's trying to aim for a good one this time. As now, where is yeah, we just had to stay on board with Shafiq Danish. Yep.
Yeah, I did. And at the moment, yeah, Shafiq Danish 3 tenths behind. So probably put him down to P2 as it stands. Before you actually go into before you actually cross sector 2, and yeah, so what will his gap be to?
Yep. So he's coming into sector 2 now. You can see there he's trying to use all of the road on the exit. He doesn't want to go too wide. He just wants to claim that the entrance bit because it's a bit of a cambered circuit. So it's positive camber compared to negatively going out. So it's easy to just ride the car almost indie style all the way through there. But now he's coming out to the final corner then onto the start finish straight. Will it be an improvement? It's going to be a 32, isn't it? It's a 31.7 and he actually goes P4. So that's an improvement. Where's Roy? There's Roy. He started yet another lap here. So this is going to be an interesting the second time laps here because they only have about, what, 2 laps-ish anyway. So Roy's timed it to perfection. If he were to actually escape it now, just bail out, he could actually easily start another one. But if he goes halfway through the lap and not be able to do it, that's it. That will be his qualifying done. And he's got not a lot to worry about considering the fact that he's above 2 tenths, 5 tenths actually, just now ahead of Azwan Anwar. But not anymore, it's 2 tenths as Roy goes much faster here, about 800ths of a second faster in the first sector.
Well, not my cup of tea, this F3 cars. I mean, they're good fun, but I would prefer the GT3 cars because that's where I belong.
Or the fact that you can actually use a bit more weight to just carry the cars through the corner because these cars are quite light, you know, so any sort of collision will send you flying into the air. We saw last time out in Global Edition 9, Adam Condrolocious literally took flight.
Oh, yeah, we did. What, in Real America, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. We didn't know how on earth he actually got that much air, but apparently because he got pinched, he went straight up. So that's the kind of problems you have with these cars that are fast but also very light. Now that we're looking at Chris Chang, it looks as though he's not on a lap, I think, because his lap time just got invalidated, so he cannot restart anymore. On to the start finish straight. He's dropped to 4th because Nizar Rizky Ramadan, a returning driver as well. Across the line he goes. Nope, he's starting another lap. There's no way he could improve it. Where's Roy? Roy's also started another lap. In fact, he has not improved on his previous one, so we gotta have to go to other drivers. These are Rizky Ramadan. He's improved, so he's up to 3rd now. And I don't see any other drivers that can potentially be the spoilers here because a lot of them have actually returned back into the pits, Afiq.
Indeed, and
oh,
yeah, so that's it.
In fact, out of our sights, Ozia Kaltri has actually climbed up to P3. So the driver who's now back with a vengeance here in this class because he, in fact, not just this class, but in this race round altogether because he was disconnected by unfortunate circumstances, even though the internet has actually been quite kind to him and for other drivers recently. But either way, he's up to P3. As we can see the timing now, it is Roy Rip again on pole in front of Azwan Anwar, Ozai Kadri and Nizar Rizky Ramadan, your top 4 with Chris Chang in 5th.
Exactly, it is. And yeah, so it's not been a bad start. It's not been a bad qualifying for all these drivers here. I quite like it.
Yeah, indeed. I quite like the fact that it's actually quite competitive in that midfield, especially look at that. You can see 5th and 6th, Chris Chong and Shafiq Danish, exact same times, at 31.709. So that just strikes across how competitive this field is and in these cars.
Long live the king. The background of the billboard that says, this is Chang International Circuit, 4.554 kilometer long track. Not like Valencia, isn't it? But you know, parts of the grandstand you can actually see like the other part of the track.
I think you can almost just about see the whole circuit. It's not literally an amphitheater like, you know, Valencia, where you can see the whole circuit, but it's close enough. It has a good viewing range on all parts, as we are now waiting about half a minute left to go here for the start of race number 1 for round 2 of the bronze class and for Global Edition 10, our decade in business. Now then, Roy Ripperip on the right of the screen with Azwan Anwar on the left. He will try to look for the whole shot. Red lights are on the gantry, and when they go out, we are going to get underway. There we go, green lights are on, and it looks as though Roy's got a good initial first phase of the start with Azwan Anwar on the inside, but Azwan will try to get a whole shot. Roy on the outside, Azwan on the inside, and it looks as though he's managed to pinch it right out of his grasp, and it's actually Ozer Al Kadri as well who's managed to sneak in up to P2 as they come up now to turn 3 for the first time. It looks as though it's a clean start. No one was involved in any major collision, Afiq.
No one was involved in any major collision whatsoever. Anyways, yeah, well, Ozer Al Kadri is leading the way, so it's not been a bad start so far. But look at that, Roy is actually, oh, never mind. That's cool to see.
Oh, Shafiq Danish has been involved in a collision there. He's into the barriers. In fact, further up the road, Sherman Singh as well, who's actually clouted the barrier. And for good measure, Shafiq Danish spins a second time. But either way, we're focusing off what happened in front with first and second. Ozer on the inside. In fact, he's on the outside with Roy on the inside. Roy outbreaks himself, and Ozer leads for the first time. This is what he wanted to come back for after such a disappointing end to his copper race.
Right, I'm gonna interrupt you there. It's actually not Ozer, it's actually Roy, so he's
Oh yes, it is Roy.
yeah, so
They got the same looking cars, unfortunately.
almost same. I mean, not identical per se, but look at that. Ozer Al Kadri is getting pressured.
Yes, he's pressured by Azwan, who's one of the FSA boys, along with Chris Chong right behind. Nizar Rizki Ramadan also watching brief here. So it's a bit of a breakaway up in front, with guys from 6 onwards are in their own little battles here, trying to get up through the field as we see. Where is it going to be for the rest of the fields? Across the line now, Ozer second, Roy first by about 1.1 seconds the difference between those two guys. And it looks as though it might just settle into a bit of rhythm, unless of course something bad happens to some of these drivers.
Well, let's not wish for that to happen now. Boy, are you asking for drama? Bad boy.
Yeah, that's what actually, well, Dad would definitely agree on that. He loves a bit of scrapping racing, as we look at Amirul Afi Aizat, not the guy who won the the 2 copper races that we saw just now, as he tries to dive on the inside of Mada Andika. Mada then around the outside, literally lives up to the team's name of Psychopath. He was holding it around the outside. That was a brave move.
That was a brave move there. Anyway, Chris Chong.
Yep, Chris Chong then right up to the back of Azwan. He tries to send one here through turn 5. That's an easy move. But can he hold it? No, he can't. He's actually run wide, and Azwan goes for the old switcheroo and gets back up to P3.
Gets back up to P3 there, Azwan Anwar. Anyway, yeah. So Ozer is still in second place, so not a bad start so far. But look at that. Ozer is actually a lot quicker in the bronze category than he is in the copper class so far, from what I can do.
Yeah, but of course the fact that he was carrying ballast, of course. So 15 kilos of ballast, it kind of affected him slightly. He was about 2/10 slower than his optimal pace, so he still managed to actually put it up into the top 5 in qualifying, but unfortunately a minor disconnect just at the most crucial time before the end of the race, would you believe it, was enough to send him spiraling out for that one. But it looks as though he wants to actually have vengeance here, and he's chasing up to the back of Roy Rip, albeit about 2/10 slower that time. Roy has actually set the fastest lap of the race at 31.6.
Indeed, it has, and at the moment here, looking on board Clint Olivier is actually P6, so it's actually not that far off from Nizar Rizki Ramadan. But you know who's actually getting closer? Mana Adika, Psychopath boy.
Psychopath boy.
Psychopath.
With the fitting profile photo there, as he tries to send one on the inside there of Leong. Leong then holds on to the position. That is in fact James Leong. So I think this is the first time we've had James here in the eRGP Global Edition. So welcome to eRGP then, James. He tries to defend on the inside from Mada Andika. Mada goes around the outside Oh, that is brave. He actually avoided a collision there by just backing off James. But he tries to send one inside again. Immediate retaliation, Avik.
Naughty there by James Dong and Amarika. But hey, like I said, I like Brawn Face because they are actually a lot more fun.
Yeah, but you don't like to be in it because you wouldn't want to be sent to the air like what happened to Condor Lodges. In fact, Condor has himself suffered a bit of an incident. He is actually in P18. We're looking at a battle for P7, and around the outside goes Leong again. He takes that wider line, which is also possible in these cars because any sort of line in a Formula 3 car, because they're so light, it's easy for them to actually just power their way through because they're so light. So compared to the Kia and the GT3 cars that we're going to see after this, it's a bit of a struggle as we now come across the line. What's happened to Ozai? Oh, he's into the barriers. He's actually whacked it coming out of the final corner.
Hello? Okay. Alright, that's fair. So
Oh.
he's winning again.
Yeah, I think that might have been not a result of the internet connection this time. This is just a pure driving mistake. He's stumbled his way from P2 all the way now to P14 on the fringe of the points. He's going to be overtaken now by Craig Burdos. That would be P15 and only 1 point, I think. That's so disappointing for the guy who looked like he wanted to actually have a good day. Now it's just a freaky Friday as they had a collision outside of our cameras.
Yeah. Not very good there. Anyway, outside number 1, FSA Racing on Chris Chang. So, William Black make a move around the outside, sees the opportunity, but will not commit to it. Dive down the inside about turn 5. Ooh. Oh, it's actually a little
I tell you.
different action there.
Yeah, I tell you what, that was actually quite skittish there from both cars, but it's going to be a three-way battle now. That is quite hairy there, if you can say so. As one then, holding on from Rizky Ramadan. Niza, remember, he has competed in the first few seasons of eRGP, so it's great to see him back here. Some familiar names, some new ones who are now up the field and ruling the roost, and some others who are just trying to start out. This is just really good racing here for second. Roy has checked out, so that will be his second straight first race win here, so that will be doing his championship confidence a lot of good because Keith Mo is not on the track, right? Is not even in this race as Azwan then blocks off Niza coming into the final corner, so this is going to be a four-way scrap if Clint Olive gets involved in the thick of things.
Where is Keith Moore? Keith, where are you? Where is you, Keith? He's actually not in. Yeah, he's not in the call even.
No, he's not actually in the race at all, so guess he's just going to use this as his drop round, probably because school got in the way, I guess.
Yeah, probably as well. Anyway, but we saw Keith just now in the driver's briefing.
Yeah. It's
Oh, well.
unfortunate that we don't get to him. Maybe connection as well. Malaysian connection has been a bit poor lately, given the fact that some infrastructure problems have happened, notably the LRT, of course.
Notably the LRT. Yeah, you gotta blame Prasarana for that. So no LRT for the next week. But good for you. You don't. Well, not good for you. This is the last race of the weekend before we're off on a 2-week break. Then we will continue with round 3 and round 4. We also have they are going back into the race. John Cascon on John McGregor.
Yep, it's Cascon then, the Filipino, against McGregor, who's seen better days, we can safely say, because he was one of those championship protagonists up to a certain point, but now he's gonna have to find out that the midfield is actually quite tight. As we look at Cascon, he's lost a bit of time, so Cascon has actually lost touch to McGregor, so that's a battle that unfortunately has been ended immediately, but another battle is now brewing because John is now up to the back of Amir Rafi Aizat.
Race 1 winner in the copper class just now. Where both. No, the whole round 2 winner of the copper class just now.
Yep. AAA, aka Pearl, because his teacher calls him Pearl because of the Pearl suffix. That's why he told me. So we're just gonna call him AAA just for short. So AAA then holding on from JC. JC about 2/10 behind, and he's been reading a lot of books throughout the year. His goal is to read about 12 books. No, actually 24 books, 2 a month. So that's his goal. But now he has to read up on racing defense because John McGregor then got the slipstream coming up to turn 3. This may be a move that he has to concede. Oh, John braked quite late there, but Amir Rafi Aizat just had to concede that one.
24 books in a year. I mean, to be fair, that's not quite a lot. If you're a bookworm, then not too much, isn't it?
Well, he is a bookworm in that regard, so it's great to see that a lot of drivers actually dedicate themselves a lot to not just sim racing but also real life efforts. As we can see, AAA tries to go on the inside. John McGregor there, unfortunately cut across a bit too soon. Oh, that's a spin. That's AAA into the grass.
AAA. Poor guy.
Oh, loses it again.
I mean, the rear tire is cool.
Yep, and unfortunately we will not be able to see the best of him in this race, so we'll have to see him in race 2. Meanwhile, battle for second, Chris Chang as 1-on-1, Niza Rizky Ramadan. This battle has been brewing now for the last few laps, and it looks as though this is going to go all the way to the final lap, Afiq.
It does indeed. That looks okay so far. 5 minutes and 45 seconds to go before you actually finish the race. But in the meantime,
Yep.
Filipino proud for Roy.
Yep, and Chris Chong has actually set the fastest lap in the race, so it's not going to be Roy's fastest lap because that will be a clean sweep. You can almost say it's a gentleman's set. Yes, he was actually fighting for the lead. He nearly got overtaken quite a few times by Ozer. Actually, he was overtaken, but he retook the lead and has held on to it since. But Chris Chong has taken away the fastest lap, so it will not be a perfect race one unless, of course, he's got something left in the tank to get back into the fastest lap in the race. But for the time being, he looks so serene up in front by about 3.6 seconds ahead of Chris Chong. So Chris then, he's definitely going to have to concede the win on this one. He has to battle with Azwan Anwar, who's only about 0.4 of a second coming up behind him.
Feast your eyes, ladies and gentlemen. This is the final, I wouldn't say this, the battle for B2, but also the final set of the podium. If these two were to collide, you do not want to do that, do you?
Nope, you don't know. You do not want to, especially given the fact that you're so close to a really good point scoring position in podium, in fact. So they probably just settle for it, unless, of course, Azwan Anwar gets a bit greedy and he just wants to get that second place for himself. We're looking at the both of them still in hot pursuit of each other, about 9/10 now. In fact, Azwan has lost about 4/10 this lap to Chris Chong. So Chris has actually picked up the pace here and tries to extend himself to extend his lead in second place.
Well, now back to Chris Chu. The other Chris in the... It's a lot of Chris here, isn't it?
I'm bet you're being distracted right now by something out of screen, but either way, Chris Chu then, one-time championship contender as well. In fact, he was also one of those guys who came a close second at one point to... Was it Keith Moon, I'm thinking, in Global Edition 8?
I think it was.
Yeah, Keith had to fend off the likes of not only Chris Chu, but also John McGregor on that regard as we look at Chris Chu here. Chris then, eyes focus, he's actually peering left and right at the screen. Probably he's trying to think, where is he going to go here in terms of overtakes, and it looks as though it's not that close yet. It's about a second and a half behind James Leong. So James, no, that's not James Leong. In fact, that is John Ray Cascon. So Cascon then is the next target for him. But for the time being, there's John Ray Cascon on our screen. Where's he looking? He's actually managing to look back and forth on the straight because it's so stable, these Formula 3 cars. You can afford to have enough time for yourself to do whatever you want before the next corner comes.
Yeah, so basically what John Ray Cascon is trying to do, what John Ray Cascon is actually showing us is that as you are driving on the main straight, that's not how you, well, that's
not.
Do it.
Yeah, but in a road car, you do not want to do that. Remember, one of our dearest friends was involved in an accident because he took his eye off the ball slightly. You know who he is.
Me?
Why in a green Myvi if you want to know?
Ah, yes.
That jogged your mind back into action.
Wait, because I thought that I had an incident, but not that severe with the car. It was just like I was playing on my phone. So lesson learned: don't do what John Ray Cascon did on in real life. Don't do what I did. Play your phone while driving, and you'll get a $200 fine, which I did, which is a lot. Anyway, that's why was still in P3, so it's not gonna do. It's gonna be a while.
It's gonna be a while still because remember these cars have no DRS either, so it's all depending on how well you can get up to the back of another driver and try to overtake. So Azwan's still in hot pursuit, about 4/10, in fact 5/10 of a second behind Chris Chong, but no way through just yet. But that looks as though he's got a good exit. He is in the slipstream within that 7/10 of a second gap because race room, the slipstream is quite powerful if you're within 7/10. So he's chasing 3/10 of a second now, coming up to turn 7 and 8 on this track. In fact, sorry, 5, 6. There we go. This is turn 5, 6 then. Where can he try to overtake here? No way through here. Maybe he could try at the end of turn 9 or even turn 12 because next time by will be the last lap and Roy Ripperip is on his way then to yet another win, and he'll be so relieved that he managed to break that hoodoo of getting pole positions but never being able to convert them. Now he's actually changing those odds, or rather his percentage. Yeah, the conversion percentage is better now because he's winning races.
Yeah, indeed, and Azwan was it's actually getting closer. So this is the final lap of the race, everybody.
Final lap then. So Roy Ripper crosses the line. He's only got 4.5 kilometers left to go here, but we're not focusing on him. We're focusing on the battle for second here because Chris Chang has actually reeled into the back of, Azwan Anwar has actually reeled into the back of Chris Chang. 131.8 last time for Azwan, 132.2 for Chris Chang. So 0.4 of a second slower that time for Chris Chang. And guess what? That's visually now we can see how close the gap is. Azwan goes around the outside, Chris goes onto the inside. But that would be a mistake if he actually doesn't break it well. Nice. He's actually braked it quite gently into the corner, uses a bit of trail braking to hook it onto the exit. And now Azwan has actually caught up to the back of Chris Chang because Chris actually has to compromise his exit slightly. He's trying to weave a bit, defend into the center of the track. Azwan goes around the outside. Can he take it? This is his other chance. Oh, he's looking quite leery there. He nearly went off onto the curb because in these cars, if you touch a curb that's slightly higher, it starts bottoming out. That's it. Your car's going to slide. But looks as though it's Chris who's actually now hot under the cosh. Chris then will have to defend coming out to the final sector. We'll look at Roy once he crosses the line, but we have to actually focus on this battle for second. This is looking good right now. So, Azwan then, where can he go? He cannot go here. This is definitely going to go to turn 12. We have to go back to Roy Ripper. There's the two at the back. They're actually battling. In fact, we can actually go for a second here to Roy Ripper. So Roy comes around the final corner, then takes the victory here for race number 1 in round 2. But who's gonna get second place? Chris Chang spun there around. Oh no! He's actually lost it. He actually went too narrow, and he's gone. He has gone out from second place.
Hey, it's not a massive battle, isn't it, Chris Chang? It's binala. Anyway, Don McGregor actually fighting with James Chong, so heartbreak. Anyway, Clint Olive moves out of position, so he's on the podium. Clint Olive.
Yeah, in fact, he's actually taken away what was third place for Nizariski Ramadan. Is now turned to third place for Clint Olive. So that is, I think, his first ever podium in ERGP. Well, actually, he has won a race before. So this is a first podium in quite a couple of seasons then for the Australian. What a brilliant drive. It was composed, it was conservative to hold on to positions while others were falling out. While Roy Rip had no such problems at all. He was looking at no one in front, and the guys behind were just gone from the horizon.
Indeed, it is.
Wow, what a finish. That was a crazy, crazy finish to the race then, for second place at least. Azwan then, there was no collision. It was a clean battle between the two of them. It was just one too much throttle for Chris Chang, and he was relegated from second to sixth.
We have Roy, race winner here again on commentary. On interview. So we're gonna have to wait a bit until the results come out. But hello, Roy. Good result again. Well, he's a bit ecstatic now, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Understated to be ecstatic, but I think it's coming together well for you, isn't it? Because at one point you just scored pole positions, but you just couldn't convert them to wins. So what's changed? Okay, so maturity is the name of the game, and that's a good way to have. So I think we had to cut this one short because you had to go immediately back to race 2. But good luck, best of luck to you too. So then, bye-bye. And now we are gonna go straight to race 2 here. It's a quick turnaround. In fact, it's about 45 seconds to go. In fact, it was under a minute. So I hope we didn't distract Roy too badly from that particular one. But again, you can see he looks quite static. He's just nailing the starts. And yes, he nearly got caught by Azwan into turn 1 there, but he managed to just pinch it through the whole shot and just gets up to P1.
27 seconds, 25, 24, 23, 22.
You don't have to count all the way, of course.
Okay, I'm not going to count all the way.
Yeah, you'd be out of breath by then. But that was an interesting race. Normally, bronze just offers frenetic action, but that did go all the way to the end now, as we need to, I think, mute a couple of people from these Zooms. In fact, now it's pole position for Ozay Al-Qadri. So the guy who was challenging for the win, dropped it in the final corner, is now going to be on pole position here for race 2. As the lights go onto the gantry, we're out here for race number 2 for round 2 of Global Edition 10. And it looks as though Ozay actually gets the best of starts compared to the rest of the field here. Gets the whole shot to turn 1. Chris Chu, Reynaldo Julie follows suit. But it is... Oh, there's a car spinning further behind. That looks as though it's actually Condor Lottis again involved in mayhem. So unfortunately for him, he's not had 2 clean class races. But he will have to move on from that as we are now looking at Reynaldo Julie and Jose Alcadri. Reynaldo on the inside. Oh, that is actually quite late. You thought that he was going to harpoon to the side of him, as meanwhile Mirza Rizky Ramadan, who was fourth in that first race, gets spun around, as well as Azman Anwar and Chris Chong.
A lot of incident here in race 1 in race 2 as compared to race 1, but nevertheless, Jose is still leading the way. Ronaldo Julie in second place.
Yeah, Reynaldo there with a good start there to get up to P2. That is the sort of start that you want, and this is the sort of thing that we heard just now from Roy to actually have, but Roy has not had the best of starts here as well. He's actually still stuck in P13 as Reynaldo spins. Reynaldo has a half spin and straight into the barrier, so he tried to hold on to the brakes. Unfortunately, the moment he let go, the car just went straight on. So there we go. Reynaldo's weekend is all but ruined here, so he's gonna have to fight back. But unfortunately for him, P10 is a world away. As we look at further up in front, Sherman Singh, who was also involved in the wars in that first race where he spun into the barriers, is now challenging Chris Chu for P3.
Indeed, it is, and at the moment here, Sherman Sang is actually
Oh, look at that! That's Rick Cas
here.
John Rick Cascon spins around, and who is that spinning around for the behind? That's James Leong. So James also has actually spun it around that. It's an absolutely manic first lap, and we only still have 13.5 minutes left to go here. So a couple of drivers further behind. Reynaldo Julie on our screens has actually gone off again.
Chris Chu alongside Sherman Sang. So Sherman Sang, right back there by Chris Chu. A little bit naughty there, but he sees the opportunity down the inside. Really making moves down the inside. Actually gets it.
Oh, who was that disappearing? That might have been James Leong because he was passing us on one. So James has fallen victim to dodgy connection in Malaysia at the moment, unfortunately, as they go side by side. There you can see that's James Leong appearing in and out again, so we don't have to mind him for now. There he is. He pops in on our screens in front of both Azwan Anwar and Sherman Singh. So that is quite dodgy there as James goes onto the inside, clips Chris Chu, and fortunately though, both of them got away with that one.
A little bit scared. I almost scared myself there. I thought that James Shaw was going to hit Christian from the back, but it doesn't look like it's actually okay so far.
Yep, as we look at Roy Rip then on our screen on one side. Probably can put up after this as Azwan Anwar dives on the inside. Azwan spins. Azwan has spun into the infield. So unfortunately, an ambitious move coming out to turn 9 where only bikes can make that little mistake. He is now stuck it into the grass.
You gotta be careful there, Azwan Anwar. You don't want to be the reason why some of the drivers are involved in okay, almost.
Oh. And who is that overtook that nearly clouted the side of him? But either way, that's Azwan out of the reckoning, and it was Craig Burdo, so Burdo's nearly whacked to the side of him. All 19 drivers that started race 2 are still in it, and Condor Lodges, despite the first lap spin, is up to P14. But either way, we're looking at John McGregor now. He is the one trying to get up to the back of Jose Al-Qadri. And remember one of those races that Jose had last year? It was the final round of the season in Road America. Everyone kept fighting, he just ran away.
It goes to show that you don't have to be, what's the word, Emma? You don't have to be... You just have to focus on yourself before you focus on other people.
That sounds like human psychology, if anything.
Hey.
You have to love yourself first, yeah. So Jose was loving himself, loving his car, to not be involved in any of that nonsense. He's now built up a bit of a gap here, 1.5 seconds, but even a 1.5 second gap in these cars is not really that comfortable, because one little mistake where you get on the throttle or you just actually take a curb wrong is enough for you to get back into the clutches of somebody else. In the case, John McGregor will probably be looking on in glee if that were to happen, but for the time being, Jose has got it under control, unlike what happened in race 1 where he was out of control.
Indeed, it is, and at the moment, Jose Al-Qadri is actually sitting very comfortably there. We have to focus on the battle behind them. Sherman Sang is actually still in P4, so he's going to make a move on the inside of Chris Chu. This is a final battle for the final set of the podium, as we have
That's James. That was James really clouting the back.
Naughty boy, James.
That was what we call a sondol. They're really to the back of his rear
In
wing.
Malay, sondo means that you hit the person from the rear. James Young did that thing. Now, Malaysian Minister of Defence here, Sherman Sang, is actually going to be overtaking James Young.
Yes.
Stop P3.
Well, Minister of Defence for how long? Because his term is about to end if he gets overtaken. As there we go, that's his term ending. James Leong goes onto the inside and he holds on to that. That was a good move because he manages to hook it into the apex, and now Sherman will try to retaliate by virtue of a by-election.
by virtue of a by-election anyway, lasts longer than the previous Prime Minister, but nevertheless, James Young is actually still ahead, so, yeah.
Oh, that's still that's good racing, but for the time being at least, no way through just yet for Sherman Singh to get up. In fact, why would James Young disappear once again?
Oh, it's fun.
Oh, in fact, he spun and he's now potentially out of it, so he cannot recover from that. Or is he? It's
Malaysia, please fix your internet. Is he third? Is he 13th? Did he spin? Did he not? Tell me, Malaysia.
Yes. Oh, that's a real disappointment there. As we are looking at some of the comments, apparently, according to Manasseh Cacares, I think that's a Filipino right there.
Yes.
Turn 4 the best. So turn 4, that is a sweeper. But you really get a sweeper on these corners because in Formula 3 cars, you can
wide, they're going to turn 8.
3 wide and Arthur Lowe is involved in it. You can actually go flat through turn 4 in these cars. And in that particular instance, Arthur Lowe had to back off completely to just let Chris Chang and Azwan through. So those two guys who were battling for second in that first race are now battling for just P15 and not even fringe points, because points in race 2 go only up to the top 10.
Indeed, and now, yeah, Roy is actually sitting very comfortably at the moment. P8, so if he were to win this race, he needs to make up almost 12-second gap.
Yes, and 12 seconds is way too far to actually get up to this point, because Jose Alcantara has managed the pace quite well up in front, so there's no way he's going to be overtaken now. But further behind, the likes of John McGregor, 1.2 seconds. I would say further behind, it's just only a couple of seconds behind. It's 1.2 seconds, so he's watching brief. Slightly further behind, that's James Leong, who's been in and out of disconnection zones. Or rather, he's been into the grass even at one point, but then manages to magically get back up to P3. So I'm not sure what happened to his connection quality, but either way, he is still in P3, just about a second in front of Sherman Singh.
Yep, indeed. And James Leong here, by the looks of things, he's sitting very comfortably, and he's actually like getting closer. Wait, what?
Oh, there's James going off again, and I believe he just went into the Back to the Future.
Oh well, it's actually back. Eh?
Back to the past as well. In fact, he hit beyond. He hit 88 miles per hour a bit too hard there, to the point that he actually went back and forth. Yes. So we are not going to focus on James Leong for now. So let's just let the stewards decide on that one, because whatever generated the results and the stewards' decisions, that will be our results that we're going to show at the end by tomorrow at least. As we now look at John McGregor chasing 1.1 seconds behind Jose Alcantara. So Jose actually is controlling the pace slightly, but John McGregor is not picking up that pace.
After hitting 88 miles per hour on the DeLorean, Marty McFly got sent back all the way to 1955 and met his younger variant of his mother. But for James Young, he's not going anywywhere. He's still
in and out of. Now let's not focus on it.
Right,
get out of there.
Get out of here, James Young. Face your internet. Anyway, yes, Manda Andika as well. So Manda Andika has actually moved up to P4.
Yep, up to P4 he goes for the Indonesian. He's having a good run here right now after finishing in the top 10 from that first race. But will it be the same here in the second race? In fact, it is going to be a top 10, but where is he going to start? Where is he going to finish? So, P4. In fact, where Madeka was actually P5 last time out, so it's a couple of good top 5 finishes, but he's got company behind Chris Chu and Shafiq Danish. So Shafiq Danish then looks on the inside. Chris Chu, he's gonna send one on the inside here. As we look at where is Chris Chu, then he manages to hold him off. So Chris Chu hangs on to P5 for the time being, but it is a gaggle of cars all the way up to P8 here, battling for the fringes of the top 3.
Yep, and running out in the top 10, it's actually, we have to mention this as well. It's actually Nizar Rizky Ramadan. So repeated?
No, he's a returning driver. He's
returning driver.
Yes, he's raced in our competition before. But looking at his room behind, he's got a fan behind him, so at least it can simulate the sort of wind resistance you can have if you actually drive it off. Well, conversely, he's actually just showing with the fan blowing backwards so they could cool his back. So say hi to that one.
Emo Hazik, I actually drive with my fan off and no aircon in my room, so I actually heat stroke myself to death. Anyway, Chris Chu Oh, it's actually Shafi Denny tries to make a move around the inside, going to turn 5 on race 2, but doesn't seem like it. What about race 1 winner Roy?
Oh, he's made his way up to P7, but he's trying to overtake now Clint Olive, who finished in P3. Oh, they're going side by side. Oh, there's an accident. Roy's been sent into the barriers and into Narnia.
Into Narnia he goes. Oh, my favorite word. Oh, land. Anyway, Roy. Unfortunate. What? Couldn't do it much now, could he, Roy? Anyway, Sherman Sang is looking very comfortable. Mada Rika is actually right behind him. So
Yep. 4 minutes left to go here, and it looks as though, well, the battle for lead is also heating up, by the way. It's about a second in it between first and second. Ozil Kadri still cannot shake off John McGregor, but that time round it was very close between the two guys. Only about 0.012 seconds, so just a whisker above a hundredth of a second in it. And it was in favor of John McGregor that time, so really then the both of them are really making the end of this race very enticing indeed for the viewers to actually hold on to and say who is going to be the winner. We're not going to place our bets here because we have to remain impartial, but it looks as though the bid is between John McGregor's team, and he will try his might to just reel in the Malaysian and try a last gasp overtake for the win.
Singapore quit Malaysia back in 1963. Now Singapore will actually overtake Malaysia for the lead of the race. Yeah. No, mate. It's actually very strange. Mada Adika is right behind the other Malaysian, which is Sherman Sang.
Yep, so that's another political civil war that we cannot talk about, by the way, between the two countries. But Mada Adika would love to end the weekend with a podium. Sherman Sang likewise would like to get one for himself here, his first of the season. As yeah, we have two distinct, in fact, 3 distinct battle packs with first and second, third and fourth, fifth and sixth in their own little battles.
Yeah, own little battles as well now. Shafi Danish is actually still behind Chris Chu. If anything would happen between Mada Adika and Sherman Sang, which is going to happen right now, Mada Adika will down the inside. Sherman Sang going to the last corner, which is sparks that are flying out. Sherman Sang turns in, Mada Adika turns in, and they actually made the final corner with ease.
I like what happened to Chris Chang, who spun it right around because he took the corner 2 times. In fact, there's another distinct battle pack further behind. These are Rizky Ramadan and Triple A going at it. So that's 4 different battle packs for different positions. But the one we're focusing on right now is the battle for P3. The final spot on the rostrum with Mada Adika in the slipstream of Sherman Sang. Who's going to blink latest here, coming out to the corners. Coming out to turn 3. Oh, look at that. That is Mada Adika diving in, but can he stop it in time? Yes, he can.
Total Southeast Asia domination. Southeast Asia 1, 2, 3, which is, that's the only group of people that you're actually racing. I mean, we have a Sri Lankan before, and we do have an Australian as well, but nevertheless, Malaysia leads the way, followed up by Singapore, and then Indonesia in P3. So it's a good showing here for the 3 respective drivers representing their nations.
Looking back right now, I remember Clint is actually Australian, but he is actually carrying a Singaporean flag, so no wonder I was like looking, where is the Singaporean gone? Sorry, where's the Australian gone? But either way, coming up now to the end of the penultimate lap, Jose Al Qadri, he has not been a challenge so far at the front, but John McGregor is trying his absolute damnedest to actually get up to the back of him. He's lost a bit of time here, 1.6 seconds now between the two, so Jose can actually just relax a bit coming to the final lap as we look at Sherman Sang battling now, holding on for dear life here for P3 in front of Mada Adika. Mada then, Andika has actually got in front of him just now at the start of this lap, but Sherman has actually outfoxed him, but that's a poor exit. That might give an opportunity here for Mada Adika to attack.
If you have an onboard cam here by Mada Adika, that'll be really nice to see, but like again, it's a split screen fest here. I mean, fixed gear ratios for all these cars as well, so you don't have the opportunity to like increase the top speed and whatnot, but what you do have is boosting top speed if you follow behind the slipstream of the car ahead. And if you're Sherman Sang, bad news for you. You got Mada Adika, the hot-headed Indonesian, who's currently trying to chase down I told you hot-headed is actually...
There you go. You just prove it. You just proved your point. Unfortunately for him, he is actually down, dumped it. Turn 3.
Okay. I give it a 10-10 for recovery. It's actually a very nice recovery there. Almost collected into the barriers, but nevertheless, he actually managed to like spun the car around again, and he's actually,
Oh, well, now he's on the fringes of the top 10 because look at that, the rest of the field. Azwan, no, that's Riziki Ramadan. These are his countrymen passes through along with Clint Olive, who's passed out for V8. He's dropped to P9, so he could only get 1 point this last race. Yep, John Ray Cascon onto the side of him. He actually nearly got it through there. So what could have been A potential podium for Madadika has now dropped him out of the reckoning. As we need to look out further in front, Ozer Kadri coming out to the final corner then. That's gonna make his day even better after what happened in the copper class. Swings across the line, that is his third victory, in fact 4th victory ever in ERGP. Behind him, John McGregor gave it all his might, but unfortunately was not enough to get up to the back of him. 2 seconds behind, with Sherman Singh managing to stave off the attack of Mandadika, crosses the line for a well-deserved podium. He's 3rd, 4th Shafiq Danish, 5th is Chris Chu after a race-long battle as well with Shafiq Danish. So, we're waiting for the rest of the field to come by now. That's Niza Ramadan. In fact, AAA crosses in 6th. Niza Ramadan 7th. Clint Olive and Mandadika were fighting each other across the line. 0.008 of a second, as I saw just now, across the line between those two. So that was a close finish, which unfortunately we missed out of our cameras as we were trying to look for the winners of the race. That's Mandadika in 9th, what could have been for him, and 10th, John Reed Cascon. So that's your points finishers. Roy just misses out after being whacked off by Clint Olive, but that's your winner, Ozer Kadri, making up for the disappointment in copper.
Making up for the disappointment in copper for, disconnecting in both races.
No, race 2 he couldn't start, but he did cross the line in P8, so we're gonna have to look back at P4. We kinda have to look back at the JSON results whether or not that is true. But we look at some of the other drivers. John McGregor 2nd, Sherman Singh in 3rd. So that's Malaysian, Singapore, Malaysia on the podium. We're waiting now for the confirmation of the results on who got the faster lap. On our screens, it looks as though it's John McGregor. It's a 31.9. In fact, he's the only driver in the 31s this race. But what an absolutely chaotic second race. And once again, we can safely say Bronze has produced the goods.
Bronze has produced the goods. That's why I like bronze. Anyway, Emma has already basically rounded up top 10. Meanwhile, the bottom half of the grid, Roy in P11, Granado Julie in P12. So wouldn't say a good showing, but Chris Chong in P13, Azwan Ano in 14, Contour in P15, Arthur Lowe in 16, Craig Burdos in 17. Then you have James Young in P18, Abdul Yazid Raza in 19th, and Henrico in 20th.
So that's it for the bronze class, and we are now going to look forward to the main draw here, the gold class. It will be beginning in about 20 minutes time from where we're going to end the bronze broadcast. So without further ado, let's go back to the studio with us.
Let's go back to the studio with us. Anyway, Handsome's here, Afik and Emo. We have Zikri who just did commentary just now. Bronze has produced the goods. Now, I like bronze. I really do. Race 1 was, let's be honest, race 1 is a bit quiet.
Yeah, it was a bit quiet with a few incidents here and there, and especially the fact that we saw in the very final lap of that one where Chris Chong just spun it, so it gave us quite an exciting finish. But race 2 was more chaotic, and it got actually a bit quiet towards the end, but that's pretty much typical because you have that kind of cycle where it gets exciting, it gets a bit boilerplate, and it gets exciting again. So that's what we can expect in bronze. It's not going to be chaotic all the time, but what's for sure, it has produced some really good footage.
It has. And now, last event of the day, last race of the day, last racing series of the day. Gold and silver racing together. They are racing in the 2021 DTM GT3 class, not Project A class, not Project A class anymore.
No. It was called Class 1.
Class 1. Okay, I got that, bro. Anyway, not Class 1 class anymore. It's actually GT3 class. And even playing field, we did give ballast to the Ferrari and the Audi, mind you. 12 kilos to the Ferrari, 4 kilos to the Audi. And gonna have a very interesting race. We have a returning Nabil Aslan, fresh from E1.
Yep. So he had a really good end to E1. So we can't wait to see another star who has shone brightest in the international stage coming back to homely grassroots racing. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Things to be aware of organizing eRacing Championship without race room. First, no automated leaderboard would always be labor intensive. Elimination round would be the only way to filter the winners, having the participants adhering to the schedule would be a huge test. We need to know the task will get bigger when participants increases. Time consuming. Organizing eRacing championship without race room, it's all need run manually to take down the participants and eliminate them from first round group to final round group. Because it is manual human labor, there bound to be human error. Manual human labor would have a price tag for the man-hours involved. New participants would never have chance. The eRacing clubs in the world will send their best racers to participate the race. But that means your championship exposure is just limited to the eRacing clubs. Why choose race room? R3E official championship have fully automated leaderboard. Participants can log in anytime to leave the fastest lap time within the qualifying period. Each of the racers already have their ranks with race room. Next, save time. You can have unlimited amounts of participants in a super short time to qualifying them to final race. Race room can cover unlimited amount of participants. We have a full automated esports ecosystem from qualifying leaderboard to broadcast AI. Besides, race room's free contents lets everyone can participate to the race.
That was Mozart.
This is the final race of the day. Gold and silver racing together in the same class, but we have race to winner. Jose Al-Qadri, hello.
Hi.
Or like, Jose Al-Qadri, hi. Anyway, so yeah, so talk us to the copper race.
Copper race, the race one.
Both.
Both races. Okay. Race one was okay. It was pretty good. But I made a small change to my force feedback because of the the fuel. When your car is carrying a lot of fuel, things feel a bit different. So I think I maybe lost a tenth or two on my race pace, but I still managed to get P4 before disconnecting on the last lap, as always. Yeah. On the broadcast, I think I showed my car turning around almost as if I spun, but I actually,
Disconnected.
yeah, I was on another planet.
Anyway, race 2 for bronze.
Race two, I don't know. I guess very depressing. I made a mistake on the last corner. I can't remember which lap. I was maybe a second over behind P1, Roy. I missed the corner completely. I ended up in the bunker, and I came out, and my car went 180 or 360. I don't know. Yeah, I spun twice, and then that was it. But thankfully, as always, we get to start P1 for race 2. And from there, things went pretty well, except for the start. For turn 1 in race 2, I actually thought it was the last corner, because PTSD, right? Yeah, I actually thought it was turn 1. If you watch the replay, I slowed down a lot. I'm pretty sure Julie was like, what the hell? Yeah.
Well, honest interview there by Jose Al-Qadri.
Okay.
Congrats on the win.
Okay.
And see you in the next one.
All right.
See you in
Thanks.
2 weeks' time.
Thank you.
Anyway, yeah, so we're gonna go back to the race now. This is the final race of the day here, listen. And we have the bronze, red, gold, and silver. As Jose will say goodbye to Jose, everybody. Bye bye, poor guy. Anyway, we'll go back to the race here, and as we have now Kelvin Power actually. So this is the gold and silver class here, ladies and gentlemen. Mind you, GT3 cars, DTM cars, and they're actually like a lot nicer per se. I mean, wouldn't not as nice, but we have quite 4 different manufacturers here today with no Mercedes on the grid. And going back to the silver standings from last week's race, Darren Average, the biggest winner in that particular event, 37 points all around, and Sharik Zulkarnain, even though he won race 2, but he only collected 26 points.
Yep, it shows how he actually didn't really have the best of first races. In fact, he was only able to collect 1 point out of that along with the win in race number 2. So really then, it's quite competitive. Only 2 points in it. Imran Zohari will be hungry to actually get up in front of Darren Avenrajan. That will be another sub-storyline to watch out for as we now go into the gold class. And for the first time since Season 5, Harish Shami is leading.
Harish Shami is leading. Yeah, Josh Berwin in second place. Axel Nocom in third. So, Axel Nocom actually had a much better season in E1 than Josh Berwin did.
Yeah, by all accounts, it was a rather disappointing season for the guy who finished up in second in Season 2, which was in 2021. So Josh Bowman would love to actually focus more on this championship because he told us behind the scenes that he really wanted to win eRGB for the first time and get his hands on those lovely trophies by Royal Selangor.
But it doesn't look like it. Anyway, Axel Nocom in P3, Volta Cycle in P4, 27 points, so they're equal on points. But because Axel Nocom finished ahead of Volta Cycle in one of the races, it's in P3. Aldo Balaguladin in P5, so not so much difference. So it's still up for grabs here. It's only 10-point difference between the guy in P1 and guy in P5, and Hamdani running up the final position in the goal standings in P6.
Yep, and we are now going back into the live action. About half a minute left to go here before qualifying. And what could be said is a competitive class because of the balance of performance that have been put by not only the game but also by the stewards themselves to make the playing field a bit more level. Because last time out, it was just Ferrari all the way, wasn't it, Alfie?
Jingle bell, Ferrari all the way. So moving into the Christmas season here. It's not Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas this year, but it's actually Jingle Bell All the Way for the Ferraris. 12 kilograms of ballast for them.
Yep, and it's gonna weigh them a lot, so it's gonna be basically 12 Rudolphs on their car. if a reindeer weighs a kilo, but that's actually just a palabra, isn't it? It's just a bit of a lie statement just to make up for it. But you get the idea. We're just gonna go for the Christmas theme because it's 12. Either way, practice is now over. It's the fastest times that's going to be set here that will determine the grid. And so Josh Perwin was fastest in practice. He will be the man to watch out for. He was 4/10 faster than Harishami, and it looks as though Josh is proving our words right. He is gunning for the Global Edition title, and he came close quite a couple of times in previous seasons. Now he's back at it again, trying to win this outright.
Trying to win this outright is Josh Berwin, but what can he do? Where is Josh Berwin? He's still in the pits here.
He's waiting for the rest of the field to go, because remember, our qualifying for the gold and silver is a bit different because you have to start from the pits. So look at that, the stream of cars of 18 drivers in both classes going out on track. So it's no wonder that Josh actually is trying to hang back a bit. He doesn't want to get involved in on any of this nonsense, any of the slipstream politics involved in trying to get in the way, get away of other drivers. But in this case, for the likes of Danish Aram, and it looks as though he's behind one of his teammates as well. In fact, is that Harishami right in front of him? Yes, it is Haris. So Haris is in front of him as the cars jump over the curve. It looks a bit dramatic, but in actuality, the cars are actually quite planted. There's Josh Berwin in the nice gaming house, I would say, and looking much better than before.
The gaming house, yeah. Josh Berwin essentially moved to Malaysia, didn't he?
Yep, he moved to Malaysia to work in the country, so he is now working, gaming, and living in Malaysia.
He is, and now, as we focus on where is Josh Berwin? He just exited the thing, but can he do a one lap wonder?
Yep,
Josh Berwin racing for Yo Esports.
Well, in terms of the overall official documents, we also classify him under Black Cars Racing, so that is the confirmed team, but this is just for banter, isn't it? He just wants to really show that he is a professional driver, but can be laid back into some attitude, and he's driving the old version of the Audi R8 Evo, not the Evo 2. So you can see the wing is actually not facing backwards; it's actually planted, facing backwards onto the, facing forwards. Yeah, that's the Evo 2. This one is facing backwards in the wing arches.
No, not the Evo 1, not the Evo 2 that I worked on for this is GT World Asia here, and yeah, so quite nice to see it. Anyway, we need to focus on who's actually doing what here. Now, Harishami leading the way.
He's on a flyer.
He's on a flyer. Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
He's definitely on a flyer. We have to watch out for him now as he comes up to turn 3 here at the Buriram circuit, or aka the Chang circuit. We have to call it interchangeably because apparently it has 2 official names.
Yes, 2 official names, but we can't, due to some ridiculous naming schemes in Malaysia, we can't call it Chang International Circuit, but we're gonna call it anyway. Anyway, what can we do? Anyway, Harishami, purple sector 1.
Yep, because there's no time set yet, so it's kind of common here as we see our timing screens light up with cars going off track, spinning. Chris Chu was one of the guys that spun. John McGregor, Yang Ming Chu also involved in the going off trackery, we can safely say. Oh, is that wide enough? Was that wide from Harishami? And couple of the other Audis further behind have gone off. Yep, Harris has abandoned that lap and straight back into the pit lane. So he is going to try again. Calvin Powden is coming to the end of the lap. Car in front of him is Mark Voltaire. Elman crosses the line now. Is it a counted lap? It looks as though it is. Yes, it's a 34.8. But where is Calvin Powell going to be? It's 35.1. Danish Aram is even closer. In fact, Danish is about almost a 1/10 of a second behind Voltaire Elman. So it's actually the first few laps that have been thrown in, but the big guns are still waiting to set their laps. And Josh Berwin is 2/10 faster in the first sector. He's gone purple there.
Gone purple is Josh Berwin. Racing for the gaming house. Yeah, so purple sector 1. What about sector 2? What can you do, Josh? Will it be a purple sector 2? I think it might be a purple sector 2.
Yep, it is by 6/10. So he is going faster than Hamdani, who's actually gone on to the provisional pole position. Jason Tay, welcome back, Jason. AES champion in season 2. He is actually back in the thick of this fight. Sorry, AES season 1 winner. My bad. So I keep getting that wrong. Poor old Jason actually cried one time because I thought it was Ali who won. But either way, that's the time going for Burton, because Josh Perwin has actually taken pole position here by about 7/10 of a second in front of in front of Hamdani.
Try hard. Anyway, 7/10 is actually not bad. Now, his closest competitor is Haris Efreshami. Still white.
Yep.
And he can't make it
No,
down.
because he's on an outlap. He's on an outlap.
He's on an outlet, but look at that. Look at the time.
It's not even counted. In fact, the times are still not available for guys in 13th onwards, including Imran Zuhaili.
Someone's ready as well. So that's it. Haris Efreshami is going to start from last.
And it sounds like you took a bit of a kick out of that. You sound a bit happy than
I'm not
usual.
being happy. I'm just saying that he can't do much now, can he? Because he's got 1 minute left on qualifying. Like the way qualifying works in racing is that as soon as the timer is out, that's it. You can't continue qualifying whatsoever. So for Harishami, he's currently P18, will still stay in P18 regardless or not whether he actually has his own personal best, but he knows how qualifying works in race room. And
Yeah. Surprised that he didn't just go for it anyway.
yeah, so
Oh, he really mistimed it. And now the championship leader is on the back foot while his championship rival is up in pole position. Josh Perwin then turns up when he really wants to. And now he is on pole for race number 1 for round 2 here of Global Edition 10. As we look at the other times that have been set on the board, Arthur Lowe has actually come in, sneaked in the time. It's a 37.1. He's 3.3 seconds behind Josh Perwin. So it's Perwin and Hamdani on row 1. Zuhaili, Imran has managed to sneak in a lap as well. He's up to P3 in front of Voltaire Elman. So that's between the silver guys. That's going to be a very intriguing battle as we look at who's that. That's on our screen is Darren Ivan Rajan. He had blue hair prior to this.
well, I want to dye my hair. Anyway, pole position for the Australian man in Malaysia. Josh Perwin. Hamdani in second place for FSC Racing, so it's a good day for FSC Racing. It's a good season for FSC Racing so far.
Yep. But you got to remember, they still need to piece it all together. And they did that last time. They got a trophy for their efforts. They want to get another trophy from Royal Selangor this time. As now, we are waiting for the start of race number 1 here in round 2 for Global Edition 10, and it has a very tantalizing prospect in regards to how the front first 2 rows look like. Hamdani, who wants to recover from a somewhat tepid start to the first round, he is up in second. Josh Perwin wants to actually win this championship after he came so desperately close a few seasons ago. And the likes of Harishami, who will be starting right at the back, he'll have to claw his way through the field. All plenty of storylines to play for here as we are now going for a rolling start. In fact, this was trial last time out. It worked a treat. Now we are going to do it again here in Buriram. So coming around the final quarter then, Josh Perwin. He is in front of Hamdani. So whoever makes the good start off the line here gets a whole shot to turn 1. We'll definitely try to hold on to that into for the rest of the lap and indeed the rest of the race. Waiting for the lights to come on then. In fact, it's going to be a green flag start. So the drivers will see the green flag. Takafuji Joystick further behind in 18th. Lines up in his box. We're waiting for the lights to go off. And the green flag is out. And we are underway here for race number 1 of round 2 in Global Edition 10. Josh Perwin gets the whole shot that he wants. Blocks off Hamdani. Hamdani did not get the start that he wanted. He has to concede that. Goes to second place. Voltaire Ehrman and Imran Zuhaili fighting it out here as another Audi around the outside. That's Jason Tay. He's in the gold class. Oh, he got a little bit door handle to door handle there coming out to turn 3. But it looks as though it's a clean start, Afiq.
It's a clean start, but I'm much more I'm laughing because Jason Stay's team is I love EVs and automatic cars. Lie. Anyway,
oh, that's a controversial move as meanwhile up in front, Hamdani manages to actually sling past Josh Perwin. Perwin then has to fight for this one actually. He thought he was going to get a walkover, but it's not going to, as it turns out, that did not happen.
Hamdani leads the way. A bit embarrassing there by Josh Perwin to be in P2 at the moment, but we have Imran Zuhaili who's qualified P3, moved down to P4, and it's got Jason Tay right behind him. So Ferrari proving dividends here. You are not the quickest car anymore, and if you're a fan of the Maranello-based team, MRZ, tough luck.
Well, it's the Maranello manufacturer, not the team, ding. But anyway, yes, it's Alex Albon's car, by the way, car number 23 that they're driving. So they're in Thailand, fitting team, isn't it?
Sawadee-Cup to any of you guys watching out there. So yes, Josh Perwin, hello, died down the inside. Will he actually get the job done? No, it's actually very, very sensible.
Yes, so it's Josh being sensible. That's actually a word that rarely comes out when you describe Josh's racing, but he is methodical when it comes to the punch, and we saw that in Aragon a couple of years ago where he tried to back it off and started the back to actually reduce his battlers for the final round of the season, but this well, the stewards that time were actually quite, in between of how to decide whether or not he was actually fair, but he got away with that one, and unfortunately he didn't come away with the title that season, as now Hamdani defends very hard on the outside. Josh on the inside, they're poking each other's cars there, but it looks as though Hamdani's gotten the better of Josh this time round.
World Fastest Gamer participant versus Toyota rookie, top 3 rookie in 2022 here, Hamdani versus Josh Pervian. So it's going to be a little bit interesting here battle. Sim Racing versus Sim Racing, both come from a Sim Racing background. Hamdani has had some karting backgrounds here, but Josh Pervian is more experienced in Sim Racing, and at the moment he's losing to a real life racer.
Yes, but Josh also has driven in real life. Remember, he showed photos online of him driving at Barbagallo Speedway in a radical prototype car, so really then he knows his way around the real world, but it looks as though it's the sim racing element is their forte, and it is still paying dividends in their careers. Hamdani then still leading the way, not by much, by only 2/10 in front of Josh Bowen, with Mark Voltaire-Elman, who rarely gets up into that high echelons anyway, is driving an absolutely storming race here. He'll be watching brief. He doesn't want to get involved in any of the nonsense. He just wants to see if any of these two guys, if they get involved in a collision, he'll just pick up the piece. Pick up pieces.
Yeah, pick up pieces actually. So Josh is actually side by side in never mind, who's there? I think that might be one of the guys, and it's actually did it mention?
No, it doesn't mention that, but that's actually Hamdani going wide. He gave too much room to Josh, and look at that. Elman has actually given it. Yep, so that's a couple of slow penalties for Jason Tay and Hamdani, but look who's behind. Elman's trying to dive one at turn 3. Can he make it stick? No, he can't. He's still right out the back of Josh Bowen, but Bowen holds on to P1 just for the time being. So we thought that this race is going to be a walkover for Josh Bowen. Looks as though he's going to have to fight for it.
Fight for your life, Josh. Anyway, Hamdani is actually lost it here, so maybe lack of concentration there by Hamdani.
Yeah, he tried to give way there for a bit, and he kind of paid the price for being a bit too careful. We're on board with Hamdani right now, looking at our screens. He is, there's his on board. You can see how his sim racing setup is very professional. It actually gets the good FOV, a direct drive wheel, I think. That looks like a Fanatec DD1, isn't it? Oh, it's the same EQ. Yes, it is. So that's a very nice wheel that he's got there. But for the time being, the wheel may not be doing its job at the moment for him, because he is trying to hold on to P3 in front of his teammate. FSA Racing's Imran Zahaili. They may be in different classes, and Imran doesn't want to ram to the back of Hamdani, and likewise Hamdani doesn't want to wreck his race. But he's got Jason Tay there, still stuck behind him. He's trying to send one coming out to the final corner. Turn 12. Can he do it? Yes, but does he outbrake himself? He block passes him.
Oh, someone goes wide, and it's Mark Voltaire-Elman as well. So Mark Voltaire-Elman, well, from a gap as closer to Josh Bowen, is currently now it's increasing.
And it's playing to Josh's hands, because he can now pace himself in front after quite an interesting battle. Meanwhile, further behind, Harish Shami is having an absolute mare. He might just condemn this race into the bin and become his drop round. Meanwhile, Elman then, he's going to have a fight with Hamdani. So Elman is actually in the silver class, so he doesn't really... Is he in the silver class? I think he is in the silver class, if I'm not mistaken. So, he is in the silver class. So this is his first race of the season, but what a storming drive so far. This might just be him catapulting himself right into the championship fight, even if he drives like this throughout the season. Coming up now to turn 4. Where is Hamdani? Hamdani is now about 3/10 behind. Hamdani nearly runs into the back of him. In fact, he has hit him, and that's a half spin. So luckily he recovered that, but as a consequence, he's lost a few positions, and that is gonna really shake some nerves for him.
Not looking good there for Dani as well. He got the inside move there on Nanter region. So he's made the job done. But it's a kind of clumsy move by Hamdani on Mark Voltaire.
Yeah, he could have actually braked earlier, and unfortunately he was less circumspect about that one. But he lives to fight another day. He dodged that particular bullet to just now still be in that hunt for second place. We can actually disregard Josh Powen now. Powen's 3.6 seconds ahead of Voltaire-Elman. So there's Taylor on the outside. Oh, that's a brave move. He nearly gets him on the braking zone, but again, he cannot brake in time for that final corner, Rafiq.
Nope, can't break there. Meanwhile, you got Imran Zahaili side by side coming to with JST coming to turn 1. Imran Zahaili is backing off because he knows that the Ferrari will get a six cube. But you got Hamdani's, which is FSA, which is Imran's FSA racing teammate as well. for company, side by side, Imran Friday and Hamdani.
Yep, they might be working together here because remember, this is also for class honors, and Zuhaili is actually leading that one. So he's a couple of positions ahead of Darren Ivan as Hamdani now dives on the inside. He gives them a bit of space. They do not want to get into unnecessary collisions or even worse, friendly fire. That's the last thing they want.
It's not Call of Duty, so you can't kill your teammate. But what can you do is that, well, if you were me, if I was like the FSA boys, be sensible boys. Do not hit your teammate. That is basically the last thing you want to do. Remember what happened to Charles Leclerc and Sebastian Vettel in Interlagos back in 2019? They felt like killing each other. You have a car there. I think that might be Danish Ashram.
Yep, it is Danish Aram who went off behind. Aldo Balagulis was also involved in a collision further behind as well. So the man who was coming into the championship in this round here in 5th place will probably have to consign a few points out of his hands. As we still look at Imran, he's got Darren Ivan for company. So that's actually for the battle for the lead of the silver class in the championship stakes.
Darren Ivan region walking new haircut.
Well, not just new haircut, new hair color, because last time I saw him, he was blue. Now he's completely grey, so he looks like Bronya Zaychik from Hong Kong Impacts.
Anyway, I am blue, for Darren Ivan region. Racing for blue is still racing, so gonna stick with the blue color. Couldn't need ammo.
No, he's gone grey metal racing. Silver metal racing. Oh, that's a little plug there. As now, this is an interesting battle between 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, with Darren, in fact, 6th even. Darren Ivan region's just a couple of tenths behind Imran Zahaili. But this battle up in front is the one that's really tasty. As Hamdani dives! Oh, he's actually hit the side of Voltaire Elman, and he takes out even Hamdani for good measure. Sorry for Jason Tay for good measure. So Hamdani with a callous overtaking maneuver has now opened up a huge can of worms. Who's that further behind? That's Elman. Disappointing for Mark Voltaire Elman. He looks so good for podium position. And look at that. He's on now in P15. It was no fault of his own. He was just minding his own business. Hamdani then with 2 major collisions in a row in this race.
Right, he's got another car outside Danish Ashram. So Singapore fighting against the Malaysian, the Sarawaki born Malaysian. And at the moment here, Hamdani, naughty there by Hamdani. It's not the first time he's hit Mark, isn't it? It's the second time he's hit Mark for them. And it's one is coming into turn 5, then the other is coming to turn 3.
And 2 collisions in a row, and this second one was even more painful. It's even more severe compared to that first one, and it took out both of them under the in this race as stopping a penalty for Aldo Balagulin for overtaking the yellow flag. So that's actually his race in the bin as well. But you gotta have your heart feel out for Voltaire and Mark drove a fantastic race up to that point. He didn't deserve that one. He deserved a better result than this, I think. It's just terrible luck that Hamdani misjudged his braking. He tried to dive, get 2 birds with 1 stone, and unfortunately lost every single one of them.
Lost every single one of them indeed. Now, Mark Voltaire. Can we have an F in chat for Mark?
Nah.
Yeah, anyway.
That's just painful out there. That's not meme it.
Yeah, but I feel bad for Mark Voltaire. And Hamdani too. I mean, he could have been more sensible.
Yeah, but amazingly, he didn't lose that much. He's still in P4, surprisingly.
So
Darren Ivan, yeah.
So if you're Jason Day and Mark Voltaire, congratulations. You have an opportunity to protest Hamdani for the unsafe move down the inside, coming to turn 3 that resulted into a collision.
Who's that getting a drive-through penalty? Sharik! He's gotten a drive-through as well. So, unfortunately, because of that collision at turn 3, he didn't slow it enough. He has actually gotten that. So there we go. Confirmation again for Sharik Zulkarnain. Drive-through penalty for ignoring slow warnings.
Anyway, so that will bump up down into P2 in the, well, not P2, see, but P4 in the silver class.
Yeah, but we'd have to really look into that right now because a lot of these drivers will have their times added on later on, including the likes of Hamdani and who is that? Who else is involved in major collisions?
Oh, that's it really. Anyway, let me tell you another battle for the lead in the silver class. For silver class honors, it's actually Malaysia versus Singapore again, which is becoming a trend here. And it's actually Imran Swahili on the Sharik Sukan and on Darren Ivan region.
Yep, and there's Arthur Lowe going further behind and probably into the pit lane. As Singapore versus Malaysia, that's a tale as old as time in terms of rivalry. And let's not go into any more further talk, otherwise we'll get into really dangerous territory when we say something. Darren Ivan Rajan then dives onto the inside of Imran Zahaili. I'm surprised Imran didn't actually defend it harder, because he has to remember that is not a gold driver, that's a silver driver as well. He should have held on to that, and now Imran is dropping into second place in the silver class. That will give more points to Darren Ivan Rajan.
I don't see. Oh, wait, Aldo Balogun is actually drinking while driving, so I gotta give credit to that. Or maybe his race is done.
No, his race is definitely done because he's in the pit lane. Harris as well is out of it. That's a dive from Imran Zahaili, and it was an ill-advised dive, unfortunately. Again, turn 5 is not a place to actually get two cars side by side. And for Darren, he managed to dodge that particular bullet. And guess what? Hamdani's out to P3, even after all the mayhem that he's caused.
All the mayhem that he's caused. Well, I tell you one thing though, I can expect a penalty coming to Hamdani's favor. Reason being because he actually took two cars out, which was Jason T and Mark Elman.
Yep, again, not favor to Hamdani, but against Hamdani, if anything.
Against Hamdani, sorry.
So the book is thrown at him. Well, from us, he was just mentioning it, but for the stewards later on, they will have a look at that. So Hamdani then, with a very wild race, which will pay him with a podium finish only on the track, but off it, by the time that the stewarding is done, may just be consequential for his particular incident. So unfortunately for him, his race is now going to be put into the bin, as we need to look at where any battles on track. In fact, there's one that's interesting. Axel Nocom and Yang Ming Chu, who are battling for P6. There's only a second in between them just now when they cross the line. It's still under a second, and there's a battle between the young guns, a 14-year-old, 13 actually, in fact, against a 10-year-old. Wow.
Young boys. So this is what we do in the RGP. We actually introduce some of these new youngsters into the championship. So that's what we are about. We found out talents like Nakib Azlan, the Azam brothers basically, Mika Hakimi being one of them. And then we also have like a lot more other competitors as well. So
Inigo Anton.
Inigo Anton, yes, especially. So yeah, so we are discovering young talents.
And Alif.
But Alif was already quick from the same racing scene to begin with. But nevertheless, yeah, Axel Nocom is actually 10 and he's actually getting a lot quicker at the moment. Axel Nocom himself, and then you also have Alan Drake Cruz. Yes.
Yep, Alan unfortunately not in this race either. But either way, that's a couple of young Filipinos who are absolutely fast when it comes to sim racing, and it's quite nice to see that they've come along leaps and bounds from when they first started. And for the likes of Nocom, he's due for a championship trophy, another one at least for him. Yang Ming Chu likewise, he was also recently at the press conference for Royal Selangor receiving his championship trophies prior to this. He's also due for another championship. Right then, we're coming up now to the final lap here of this race. We are watching Darren Ivan Rajan being chased by Muhammad Hamdani. So Danny then, wow, he's had a wild race and he would love to finish with a flourish, but unfortunately the stinging point for him is that the penalties will still stand either way.
Penalties will stand either way as well. But we have Hamdani actually going down for a move to the inside of Darren Ivan Rajan. I still think that Hamdani is going to get demoted anyway because he's still that penalty is looming.
Yep, and there's a clean maneuver that time. He tried coming into turn 3, but remember he took out Tay and Voltaire Elman. And for Elman, it was even worse because he dropped so many positions. Your heart goes out to him, don't you? Because he was no fault of his own. He's driving his best ever race, only to just get shafted by a case of force majeure from another driver. And that's it. That was just his race put into the bin. Now, we have to look at further in front. Where is Josh Bowen? 12 seconds in front to be exact. After all the mayhem that's happened behind, Josh then came out of the woodwork fighting for this race, and he wants to fight for a championship with Harris out of this race. It is going to be Josh Bowen then laughing all the way to the bank, banking his first victory in well over a few seasons. The Australian then, who's now residing in Malaysia, comes out of the final turn now, takes the victory, and will he actually show a bit of emotion across the line? Yep, he does. It's as if he almost knew that we were actually watching him on camera.
I think he's actually watching. I think he's actually streaming the race. But nevertheless, congratulations to Josh Bowen here.
Yep. And we are now looking at the rest of the field. Hamdani crosses line in second by just a few tenths ahead of Darren Ivan Rajan. Oh, that was a very close finish. Danish Aram also was trying to sneak in there, but unfortunately, he has to settle for fourth. He starts a burnout then. Rest of the field, Imran Zahaili, Yang Ming Chu with a close finish as well. In front of Nocom, Jason Tay recovers to P8. 9th is Sebastian Aria, and 10th is John McGregor, who is now who makes up the top 10 here.
It makes up the top 10 here, John McGregor as well. So it's not been a Hamdani is very careless here today. I finishing in P2, yes, no doubt about that. But still, I mean, that penalty could have been avoided, honestly.
Well, the incident for that matter, because he not only ruined his own race, but he also ruined, well, he got niced, if I'm honest. He did still manage to finish on the podium provisionally, but it's Jason Tay and Mark Votel-Elman. Elman is the one that you really get, you have to put your heart out to. He didn't deserve that. He deserved a better result than this. It's just so unfortunate.
It's just very unfortunate here for Mark Votel-Elman. But still, nonetheless, it was an excellent race by these two drivers here. So this is the final standings here for today. For the race 1, Josh Perrin wins outright and gold class as well. Hamdani finishes second place, but with that penalty looming, we have no idea how much the stewards will actually give him. They're every region running up the top 3.
Yep, and guys outside that, because we already ran through the top 10, Takavuchi Joystick, that's actually a good run by him to finish P11 in overall. We're going to have to make out later where he finished in class. Chris Chu 12th, Votel-Elman in 13th, 14th is Kevin Fowl, and 15th is Arthur Lowe, with Shari Zulkarnain with that drive-through really sending him out in P16. Haris Shami in 17th, and Aldo Balagulin then, another disappointing end there, he's in 18th. So, without further ado, we have a quick turnaround here for race number 2. 50 seconds left to go there on the clock. Long live the king in the background, the late king of Thailand watching over in his billboard, but it's a very nice circuit that has provided very good racing. And for the first time since the very beginning of Global Edition 1 back in 2020 in March, we are back in Buriram, and it's been a great return for the championship. Gold and silver classes racing together, and it's almost like how we began all those a couple of years ago, where we had gold and silver, we had pro and am drivers racing in 2 separate classes. We're getting ready to go then. 20 seconds left to go before the start of race number 2 for round 2 of the Global Edition 10. We have, in fact, back into commentary box, Mohammed Zikri, Global Edition 8 champion for the bronze class. Have you been watching the action closely?
I have. I've actually been watching Yan Ming very closely as well. He made some rather interesting moves. But yeah, let's see how it happens in race 2. Let's go.
Yep, let's go then. This is now Darren Ivan Rajan in pole position. I don't think so. I think it's Votel-Elman, in fact, by looks of our timing screen. So, yep, it is Votel-Elman in pole position, right beside him, and he would love to actually take a race 2 in after being taken out in race 1 by Muhammad Hamdani. He has no Hamdani in sight right behind him. We're waiting for the green flag then. The green lights on the gantry will be the start of this race. And when they go out, race number 2 will be underway. There we go. Race 2 goes now. And Votel-Elman is taking the whole shot to turn 1. Unless Chris Chu has any other ideas. No. He actually swings around the outside and holds on to it. Takavuchi Joystick actually gets pushed out wide a bit. It's over the behind. Oh. Big accident. It's a big accident. Who's that involved? And that thing is Shari Zulkarnain. In fact, it is Shari and Calvin Pao involved, the Zikri.
Yeah, they both had a really poor race 1. And yeah, it's just no luck for them today, and then yeah, it's all done for race 2, really, I guess.
Oh, yeah, all done for them for this round, even for that matter, as we have a couple of other drivers with a few warnings there, including Arthur Lowe and Haris Shami, who's had a nightmare round so far. He couldn't get the qualifying right, and now he's paying the price for that. He is still not even managing to break into the top 5. He's just about in the top 10 behind Sebastian Aria. But up in front, Mark Votel-Elman is a man on a mission. He wants to make up for what was a disappointing end to race 1, where it was looking so promising, getting taken out by Hamdani. He is now 1 second ahead of Chris Chu.
Well, the biggest winner, I think, out of all of that is Josh Perwin. He's up to P6 from starting from P13 because he won the last race as well. So yeah, it's a really good start for Josh. And yeah, we just have... Wow, it's crazy what a crazy start at the moment right now.
Yep, and bang on cue, our director has actually pointed to Josh Poe in P6. He's trying to overtake Axel Nokam, and these two have had a bit of a tough season in E1 to say the least, including the likes of you, of course. But Josh is looking to make up for it here. He overtakes Axel Nokam for P5, and who's that going up? He's actually straight into the pit lane, Zigri.
So who was that? It's Haris Defi. He went to the pit lane race 1. I think we went to the pit lane again.
Yep, in fact, who's that's in the pit lane? That's actually, yes, it is Haris Shami into the pit lane once again. Now that's a weird one.
I don't know what's happened there with Haris Shami. Back to the action here, Josh Perwin right behind of Jason Tay and Yang Ming Chu. And he's trying to dive in on the inside. Can he make
Oh!
a good dive on the inside as well on Yang Mi Chu as well? And he made it stick.
Wow.
He made two positions at one, but he went a bit wide.
He got it
Yeah,
anyway.
he got it, yeah.
And that was something that Hamdani couldn't do in race 1, is to try to take two birds with one stone, and he's done so cleanly. Now he sets his sights on the back of Chris Chu, so Chris may try to put up a bit of a more sterner defense, but with the likes of Josh, who is on fire right now this round, he dives on one on the inside, and there we go. Josh takes away Chris Chu's position, and Yang Ming follows him suit.
I'm going to say it here. I think Josh will win a race too. I'm going to comment. I said to Afiq before about the commentator's curse. I don't think so. I said it was a fake, so I'm going to say it here. Josh is going to win race two.
Oh, you're gonna hold on. You're gonna have to hold on to that with degree. You're gonna have to say it with conviction, and you have done so. So stick to that particular one. As Josh Perwin now, it's 5 times a second in front of Yan Ming Chiu, 2 seconds behind Mark Voltaire-Elman, and for Voltaire-Elman, it might be a bit of a hard feeling of PTSD, you might safely say, because he had an Audi take him out in turn 1, but maybe he can console the fact that it is Josh Perwin behind him. He may be a bit more circumspect.
Well, that's a big battle between Chris Chu, John McGregor, and Sebastian Aria right now. It's really it's a really big crowd of cars. He's lost out quite a lot there, so now he's have to play a catch-up game for the people in front of him.
Indeed, and it's a 3 wide then between Ferrari, BMW, and Audi. Audi on the inside is Sebastian Aria. BMW in the middle is John McGregor. Who's going to break the latest here? Is McGregor breaking very late. He's actually forced Chu out wide. Oh, it's a spin. It's a half spin, and luckily Aria actually managed to point him in the right direction.
Yeah, it was lucky. That's a dive, kind of a scary moment really for Chris Chu. But right on an X knock him right close to Hamdani at the moment, but can't make the moves. So he just have to stay behind of Hamdani throughout this whole section, because I don't think so is the best place to overtake around here in Sector 2.
Yep, Sector 2 has no clear overtaking spots. Turn 9 if you can really try, but only with MotoGP bikes you can actually safely pursue that. Even in Formula 3 cars, it's just half a chance. In cars much wider like a GT3, no way. So he's going to have to line one up at turn 12, and unfortunately a few drivers have actually gotten it wrong today. So for NoCom then, he will fancy his chances against a driver who's pretty much been in the wars in this race, in this round even.
Now I said that Josh is going to win race 2. Now he's just under 1 second of Mark Voltaire-Elman in this lap alone already. So my prediction is about to become right at the moment right now, and he's looking good for Josh Perwin at the moment.
Fastest lap even, a 34.3 that time round, 3.52 to be exact, and he's chasing up to Voltaire-Elman. So Elman's lap time last time out was a 35.4, so 1.1 seconds that Josh has made up to the back of the Filipino. But I think the Filipino might try to play it safer, because he did play safe in that first race, but it's just unfortunate that a couple of other drivers didn't think likewise. So now probably he'll try to be a bit more circumspect with letting guys through, as we look at Sebastian Aria, who has actually a nice profile picture of, I think, a girl from Girls Frontline. I could be wrong on that, but either way, anime feelings aside, that's Aria now up to P7 in front of John McGregor. So McGregor then gave away a bit, but McGregor will try to fight back.
You can't stay away from anime, can't you, anymore, right now? But yeah, it's a really good battle between John McGregor. It's good to see a BMW at the top 10 at the moment, and he's really fighting very hard to make it stick at the moment.
Yep. Oh, there's a fight between Josh Perwin and Voltaire-Elman, and in fact, at one point, Elman actually cut back at him. He actually managed to retaliate, but Perwin then block passes him this time around, prevents him from getting any momentum, and now he's gonna have to deal with Yang Ming Chu, and this is the battle for the silver class honors.
And knowing Yang Ming Chu, he will take every opportunity in his stake at the moment. So right now he's very close to Mark Voltaire-Elman, and there you go, Yang Ming Chu takes that opportunity, and up to P2 he goes, and now he's chasing down Josh Perwin for the win.
Yep. Now look at that. This is a battle for silver and gold honors, and can you imagine we have an overall silver winner? That'll be the first time ever we've had since this brand new arrangement came to play in Global Edition 8, and it's looking good so far for Yan Ming, but for how long? He's gonna have to defend against Voltaire-Elman in a similar car, similar livery, and similar performance. Elman goes around the outside here, and he has, oh, Richard, look at that, Jason Tay, the guy who was also involved in that major accident when Hamdani took both of them out.
Yeah, right now right now Yang Min Chu is doing a really good job right now trying to keep in front of Volta Elman. Actually, in the last race, Sharik won the overall in race 2. So you weren't correct there, but it's okay. But don't worry. But right now Yang Min Chu is doing a really good job. Oh, Mark Volta Elman trying to look on the inside, but no can do right now, it says Yang Min Chu.
Yep, Yang Ming Chu now up to P2, but look at further behind. Jason Tay, another one of those returning aces that were racing in seasons past. It's almost like a throwback season, isn't it? We got so many drivers from very good drivers who have raced internationally coming back, and Jason Tay is one of them trying to get P3 away from Voltaire Elman.
Yeah, right now Volta Elman's under pressure right now from Jason Tay, and he's losing touch of Yang Min Chu. So now he has to pay attention on Jason right close by as they're going up to the final corner, with Josh Perwin already building up a 1.3 second gap off Yang Min Chu.
Yep, and in fact Jason Tay holds the fastest lap of the race at 33.9, unless of course Josh Perwin may have something to say about it as he crosses the line. Nope, no fastest lap just yet going to Josh Perwin, so he might take the 25 points, in fact 17 points, because he's only 15 points for race number 2. As Aldabala Gulen then, we look at him in P10, racing up to the back of the BMW of John McGregor. Hamdani then gets a slow warning for track limits abuse. There's quite a few of that as well, because it's such a flat circuit. It's a bit of a plateau. You don't really get to see some of the corners being blind, but also the fact that outside the corner is actually full of tarmac, so you can actually abuse that.
Yeah, right now Aldabala Gulen is really close to John McGregor at the moment, but he's moving on the inside. John McGregor goes wide, so now does he have a better exit through this corner? No, he does not. Aldabala Gulen, so he has to stay behind in sector 2 unless he can overtake in turn 4, which I don't think is likely, Ammo.
Yep, no way through, just right through there.
Yeah.
He cannot make it through turn 4, turn 5 even, so unfortunately for him he's going to have to follow the car in front all the way around, at least until the final sector, where he can have at least sneaking in a half chance, as now Voltaire Elman has another Audi behind him, but is the guy that he was battling cleanly with for second position that time round, and now he has to fend Jason Tay off again. But they can console the fact that Hamdani is only a further 2 seconds behind, so he's not anywhere close to cause yet another mess up.
True. Right now Jason Tay is really trying to find a way through Voltaire Elman, and he's gonna have to try to find it quick, because only 5 minutes left. It's not a lot of time left, so yeah, it's all to play for really.
Let's say about 4 laps to go even between these guys, so 4 or 5 laps depending on how fast Josh Perwin's lapping. He can actually take his foot off the gas somewhat slightly, proverbially of course, to not really take it off completely, but he's got a 2.5 second gap in his pocket to just back it off, save his tires, save his fuel for the final push to get that fastest lap, which is still being held by Jason Tay, as Yan Ming then defends on the inside. Voltaire goes much wider. This corner actually has a bit of a weird radius, doesn't it? Because it kind of comes in very late, but it tightens on the way up.
Yeah, it does. I was when I watched Yang Ming Chu, I was a bit skeptical. It's like, how is this corner really? How do you go through this corner really well? And to be honest, Yang Ming Chu does really well through that corner. He loves his dive bombs there.
Indeed, and fortunately for him, he doesn't have to do that many. And dive bombs in previous races have actually turned quite ugly with certain drivers, so he will try his best to hold on to second place for that one. And at this current juncture, it looks as though the drivers have settled into a bit of a rhythm, as between Darren Ivan Rajan and Sebastian Aria. So Aria then, and they both have enemy profile pictures, to be honest. Really nice. So here comes Darren now onto the inside. Oh, that's half a chance. He nearly tried to take it, but Aria holds firm. He tries it again. And look at that. That was a door that's opened pretty wide by Aria, and unfortunately for him, he has to concede the position.
And I said you couldn't overtake in sector 2. How wrong was I? There you go. He made it at the end of sector 2 and managed to get up to P7 now for the next lap, and gonna try to do his best to try to catch the Axel Ocon, but it's very far behind. Can he do it?
7 seconds to make up in 4 minutes. It's impossible, but you never know. A lot has happened in ERGP over the last 10 seasons, and you cannot discount anything even up to the last second of a race. As meanwhile then, Mark Voltaire Elman holds on to P3 in front of Jason Tay. Jason then, he's trying his best. In fact, I said Hamdani. Elman actually helped break himself, and Tay goes onto the inside. Hamdani further behind has to hold on to P6 from Nocom, so Nocom's looking quite racy. Voltaire Elman gets kicked out of a overall podium, but he's still beyond the podium in the silver class.
This is what Jason Tay needed. And a mistake like that from Walter Elman. Now Jason can now chase down Yang Min Chu for P2 in overall class.
Yep, and in fact, because Yan Ming is in silver, so Yan Ming will win this one, while Jason Tay will be second overall and in class, so he'll like to prevent a silver class guy from finishing any higher than P3 in the race. So really then, a lot still to play for, despite Josh Bowen already checking out, about 3.6 seconds ahead of Yan Ming Chu.
Oh, look at that. Josh is having a field day. He just climbed up to P6 and then all of a sudden he's now P1 in race 2. He's gonna get a double win for him today, really.
Yep.
Race 1, race 2?
Yep, he did win race 1 and he didn't get the fastest lap, if I'm not mistaken, because a couple of other drivers further behind, because Ferraris seem to be the fastest car in a one lap pace, but it looks as though they can actually drop off a bit, especially given the fact that they just somehow easily get into a bit of a spin. And I'm not going to quote Spinella quotes here, but a lot of Ferraris have been involved in incidents here today.
Look how close Jason Tate now is to Yang Ming Chu now. So now he has the slipstream. Now Yang Ming Chu's strongest point has been turn 3. He's been making a lot of his overtakes here, and he has been defending very well in that corner itself. So let's see how it is. Yep, he does the same thing. He's doing very well at the moment, keeping Jason Tay behind. So Jason Tay is really gotta find this element of surprise to overtake Yang Min Chu.
Yep, and for the Global Edition 6 champion, he will try to be outfoxed here by the AES champion of Season 1. Yeah, a lot of champions in this field. First three have good resumes. And yes, Yamming may be 13, but he's got a lot of racing experience right behind him. As such, the fact that kids nowadays can get to sim racing even as young as 7, as the youngest we have is Adrian Amit at the age of 7.
Yeah, Yang Min Chu. Back when I was racing in bronze, he was my closest rival for the championship. So yeah, it just shows how fast he is. And yeah, I think a championship is. He still hasn't won a championship, but that one day he will.
No,
he has won a championship.
He has won.
Okay, well I said wrong. I think he's gonna win more and more at the moment right now, because he's driving. He's getting better every day.
Yep. And he's driving so well here against a guy of Jason Tay's caliber to hold on to it. Josh Perwin gets the fastest lap by only 0.04 of a second away from Jason Tay. So Tay now wants to get that back, but unfortunately he's got Yan Ming Chu in front of him. So he might get some slipstream, but traffic will bog him in, as we are now on the last lap for the final race of the day. And it's been no less exciting as the other races. This one is even more so, considering the fact that the championship connotations are now turned on its head, especially given the fact that in the gold class, Harishami has had an appalling round.
Yeah, Harishami has been in the pits these past two races. So, yeah, I guess he just wanted to take in the sceneries from Thailand, really, and just chill out for today. But right now, Jason Tay really cannot find a way through Yang Ming Chu at the moment.
Yep.
And it's just hindering him a lot right now.
Indeed, and the fact that Yan Ming has pulled out all the stops here with good defensive work, trying to prevent Tay from overtaking. And granted, the Ferrari is still good around the corners. The Audi has better straight line speed this time, considering the fact that we kind of had a bit of a BOP change for both cars. But it's still the two cars of choice here in this particular season's class. So Audi and Ferrari then are the cars the way to go. Yan Ming, of course, previously was in a McLaren. He is loving the Ferrari now. He was ruining the fact that he didn't get the Ferrari the first time around. As now we are looking at Josh Perwin coming around the final corner then to take victory. He'll make it 2 in 2 for this particular track, and he comes across then to take victory. It's a double for Josh Perwin, a well-deserved one. But look at further behind. It looks as though Jason tried to dive one, but no, he managed to. Yan Ming manages to hold off Jason for P2, and he comes across the line. Yan Ming wins in silver. You can tell he's absolutely elated, even by the look of the way the car was wiggling.
Yeah, Yang Ming Chu, well done to him. And like I said before, I said at the start of the race, Josh Perwin is going to win the race too. There you go. And there's no commentators, because I think it doesn't exist really to me.
I don't want to talk about that after what happened in E1 yesterday. But either way, Hamdani then kicking up some dust kicking up some rubber too, with donuts here on the biggest pit lane exit you'll ever see in any circuit. It's a good, well-deserved win for Yan Ming Chu in silver, and it's a well-deserved win for Josh Perwin in the gold class. And we are now probably live with Joshua. Hello, Joshua. Good day to you, sir. From Malaysia, of course, amazingly. So, That looked easier than it expected for you, wasn't it? Or was it quite tough? Because considering the fact that race 1, you had to really fight for it. Because normally if you associate GT cars, it's normally with another driver or whatever, right? Because it's longer. But coming into this one as well, you seem to be aiming for the championship too, isn't it? Because not only were you practicing for this race, but you really want to go for it. Absolutely. So, building up your repertoire quite well in your return to the championship, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time then for round number 3. Yeah, good boy. Now then, so we look at the provisional results. Remember, penalties are still pending for certain drivers. We're going to get another interview here with other guys as well, the likes of Darren Ivan Rajan. First time in the interview box in quite a long time, I think. He had quite a wild race as well. Darren, can you hear us? So, Darren, sporting silver hair. I remember last time you were actually bluish. So, that first race for you, what was it? Did you actually see that big accident between Hamdani and the guys where you managed to get up to P2? So you're just watching brief and picking out the pieces. That's probably a good tactic here. It's kind of like the theme of the race. And what's it like for you as well to come back here and try to challenge for the championship as well? Because we asked the same question to Josh. Is it the same mindset as well? Would you like to go for broke and try to really go for the championship too? Okay, fantastic. So glad to see you coming back as well, and with a completely different hair color because I remember personally you having blue hair. But well, congratulations, and we'll see you in round 3 as well in a couple of weeks' time. Right then. So Zikri, that's the end of it, and that was actually quite an entertaining trio of class races. In fact, we can say 4 classes, but it is 3 races in essence. But really, then. It's amazing how that the level of competition has been increasing for all 4 classes, ever since the start of Global Edition, and now it's pretty much quite well subscribed.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised how the level has increased quite a lot from round 1 to round 2, especially with new debutants from copper, bronze class as well, and gold. Oh wow, gold and silver. Good to see. I'm lost for words really. I'm going. I don't know what to say anymore.
Okay, so in essence, because there was also a lot of returning drivers, like Josh Bowen and Jason Tay, who are sim racing luminaries in the region, to come back here as well, competing. It's quite nice to see all the old names come back because it's a favorable class. And also, before we're gonna go over the interview after this with no, we're not gonna. So for the final time here today, we have to actually thank the companies and organization that made it possible. On the very top, right there, MAM, who are sanctioning the stewarding. So thank you for them to come on board and make this very official. Below us, as the usual, Axel Sports, Live Apparel, who made these lovely shirts. So you can see the live logo on the side. Rose Lango, who made the brilliant trophies that actually got shown on social media recently. Okay, the likes of you get to enjoy your trophy even though you were grimacing somewhat in slight pain.
Oh, I'm still in pain right now with my knee at the moment. But yeah, it was a really nice experience to get my trophy for my bronze edition grade.
And of course,
yeah,
G8, and of course the fact that you get to show in front of the medias, the entire media conglomerates with the likes of Media Prima, RTM, and Astro in Malaysia, of course. And it gets to show. It was also shown in the RGB page, of course. Last but not least, the last 2 sponsors, Xpark, who provide the facilities here for us to do our commentary. It's a very good facility. You can try to do the go-karts in the 3 locations we have. Not only in Kelana Jaya, but also in Sendayan and in Johor Xbox. So that's it. That's all our export locations. And finally, last one, Race Room for providing the platform for us to actually conduct the races, and of course have been supporting us from the very first day ever since the start of the pandemic. So that's all from us today. What are your final words, Zikri?
Wow, see you in the next round, I guess. Yeah, but it can't wait for the next round, really.
Absolutely, and don't know where that's gonna be, but we'll be back for the final 2 rounds of the season as we are now reached the halfway point. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. But for now, from me, Amo, from Zikri, and from Afiq, and all the guys behind the scenes who make this possible, it's goodbye for now.